Welcome back to poLAND.tf. Welcome back to Essentials.tf. I'm TurboTabs. I'm joined with Condawg on the couch and special guest Piggles and Mac, all the way from Big Boat LAN. Gentlemen, welcome to the couch. Condawg, how's your LAN been so far? This is the first time I've seen you really this afternoon.
This morning, I've been seeing you every bloody day, mate.
No, but not on the couch, not in the, the timeline of the
because
stream.
you know why I'm here, Turbo. I'm the biggest MANDEM fan here, and obviously MANDEM, they're in this next game, Turbo. I'm hoping these guys will be touting the Frenchies, because I'm not going to be looking at them at all. I've got those 6 players in my head, and I'm focused on them.
Yeah, you're right. We're straight in our lower bracket final. It is MANDEM versus fourFence. Piggles, was there any doubt? I mean, it must be kind of weird for you to say, like, who you thought was going to be in the top 3 or anything. I bet you thought you were going to be in the top 3, right?
Potentially, yeah.
But it's fourFence at the end of the day. Are you shocked that this has come down to that's the team that ended up getting this third place spot?
I'm not shocked, TurboTabs. No, I think they controlled that chaos very well. It obviously went down to the wire on some of those maps, but the way that they came out on top truly showed how sublime their skills are.
Thank you, my little pundit, Mac. MANDEM in the lower bracket. Is this right? Is this justice? Should they have actually won that upper bracket final, or was it kind of stolen away by Witness, in your opinion, or anything like that?
No, surely Witness are top dog. They're top dog in the season. There's nothing wrong with losing to them.
There's not many that beat Witness, right? There's not many.
Oh, I see.
There's not many people that beat Witness.
You forced it in there, but you're right. Yes, Big Bloke LAN, you did do it. If you had to offer any sort of wise words to these teams as the Witness slayers of this LAN, what would you give these two teams? Prepping them ready for the Witness grand finalists, possibly.
Just don't play that. Don't play the Witness game. Don't let them do what they want to do. If they want to come in with a combo, you do the
God, you're a bunch of siblings fighting for this microphone. Condawg, just sit there, okay?
Here's the thing. Push Lucas. Just push Lucas.
Just push Lucas.
It sounds wrong, but just push Lucas.
All right, well, what about, okay, if you could slay Witness, surely you could slay MANDEM, you could slay fourFence. Have you got any hot tips about these teams, man?
No, we can't do that. We're a single use utility. It's like rock, paper, scissors,
We're scissors.
Bloke, Witness, MANDEM, we're bloke, Yeah.
Piggles, who's the rock and who's the paper in this matchup then, out of fourFence and MANDEM?
I think fourFence are going to have it tough.
So they're sufficiently scissors in this rock versus scissors.
I lost you there, but yeah.
Okay, well,
but
scissors loses the rock, doesn't it?
fourFence are hot at the minute. They're hot on how they're going. They've had a nice warm-up game. They're all looking good. QB, Moolah, they're all dripped out right now. They're looking confident. They're swaggering about. MANDEM, they've just been looking at demos. I know what they've been doing, but fourFence are feeling themselves right now in the cool way.
Condawg, if you had to make a choice, would you rather review the demos, have time for that, have a little break, or would you rather get nice and warmed up with some actual games this morning?
I think I'd rather do neither, to be honest. The MANDEM boys, they've been sat in their little cabin, and they've been watching fourFence play against Yak. The Venom Crest boys, they really put the fourFence in a bit of a tough position, taking it to map 3. I think fourFence, they might be tiring a little bit, Stress, Yak, he puts it on you. Whereas the MANDEM, they've just been chilling. They're in their little booth. They're watching the game, and it's all good.
You're shaking your head, Piggles. What? Give him the mic.
Absolutely wrong. They've played one game. You can't say that. How can you say that fourFence, the best players from France at LAN, are starting to falter? How can you say that? They've played one best of 3.
Give him
against Yak.
God, it's turning into a
No,
WWE session.
It's so wrong. It's so wrong. They controlled that chaos.
Mac, be the voice of reason. Be the voice of reason. Who's wrong? Who's right?
I think Pig's right here. I think Pig's done you there. You two. Basically, we come here to play. We come here to play, Pig.
Yeah.
When you come to a LAN, you don't cry that you have to play 90 minutes against Yak. You should cherish the opportunity. You should cherish the opportunity to play the game. Why we did so bad yesterday was actually because we went upper bracket and we didn't have to fight tooth and nail.
I see.
We lost that hunger.
This leads into my next question for you, Mac. So do you prefer... obviously, there's not many chances to scrim once these teams start dropping and they start drinking and all that. Is it quite valuable to actually get some games in just before you have some of these big games later? Or is it actually nice to actually have a nice break before?
I think breaks are important. I think LAN scrims are pointless, borderline pointless. No one really plays properly. It's just like it's like worst of both worlds of like doing demos or MGE. It's like just do one or the other. If you need to like sort something out, look at what happened. Don't try play like some weird on LAN scrim. That was my experience. That was my experience at least. They were pointless. I was going. I was like bombing in and stuff. I wasn't playing properly. I should have just went MGE, and then or like had Geordie in the lab figure something out.
Piggles, over the years, I've been talking to many a player, and they say they learn most at LAN. Is that right? Has that been your experience this LAN? Has everyone been learning, do you think, a bit? Has everyone seemed to improve as the LAN gone on?
It's a completely different ballgame, LAN versus online. You know, you have LAN experience, you have online experience. Some of us falter online, some of us perform at LAN. Not many people beat Witness at LAN. Not many people beat Witness online. But those with that LAN experience, that have a good time, that don't go to bed early like all of these people trying really hard, that don't have a drink, you know, is that why they're failing to beat Witness?
So
Turbo, is that why they're failing to beat Witness?
So
Is it because they don't have a
What I'm
mojito?
understanding is basically Big Bloke LAN has done every single step correct, and yet they're out.
Yeah, that sounds about right, that, yeah.
Condawg.
You've done me here. I'm rattled.
Condawg, let's talk a bit more about MANDEM. Obviously, we've got best of threes. It's map picks and bans. I'm sure the teams are, furiously picking the maps and banning the maps. Which maps are you expecting to kind of come up in this matchup?
If I was to hazard a guess,
Are you looking at the
I
production
reckon
PC? Don't do that. That's
process-
cheating, right? You're supposed to use your brain.
All right, Turbo, if I'm thinking back to yesterday, obviously we saw them play Metalworks. That was the pick from the MANDEM. And I think they picked Snakewater on the Frenchies, if I'm casting my mind back.
You little cheater. You were just looking
I'm
at
not
the
looking,
production
I'm
PC.
thinking back to yesterday.
All right, just bring him on the screen. Just bring him on the screen.
Yeah,
If
go
he's
on,
going to
forgot.
cheat. Oh, right. It's the wrong Vita. It's a bait, you little...
That's fine, because no, it was
little
it was
liar,
Snakewater
you.
Metal yesterday, Turbo. Metal was the MANDEM pick, and they played against Witness as well. They beat the Frenchies, but they lost to Witness. So I don't think much is really going to change. I think Metalworks we're going to see again. What the Frenchies do, I don't know. Obviously, they're coming into this having lost that last series. And we'll see if they fancy changing it up from the Snakewater that they lost yesterday.
Piggles, I mean, surely you can reveal all map knowledge now that, you guys are kind of taking it relaxed here at LAN. There's no need to hold, secrecies anymore. We're all buddies here. What do you think is like the best step forward for either of these teams during the map picks and bans? Is there any maps that they need to ban, need to pick?
I know for a fact, because I mixed versus MANDEM this morning. They double coughed scrims this morning. So... we could see un baguette
What an
bagel
inside
on. We
scoop.
could see a bit
You
of
were a
product
good choice in this
playing,
couch, yeah.
That could be an option.
Frenchie should want product.
Frenchie should want product. Go on.
Yeah, go on, sir.
Well, they're just good at product. I think they're better at product than MANDEM. We did well against MANDEM on product online. I get that it's online.
Why?
But the Frenchies roasted us.
So they beat you, so they must be good at product.
Oh, yeah, but we beat MANDEM on product. It's
I
online.
see.
It
It all
doesn't mean
goes in
anything.
circles. Whatever happened to that rock, paper, scissors analogy earlier?
Yeah, but, right? The big but is, like, this is product, man. It's objective, Like, the way the Frenchies caress the map and, like, move around it and get in on around that point, it's nothing like the way MANDEM do it.
You literally said nothing with any of that statement. Piggles, take that microphone off him there. Piggles, get that microphone off
isn't that the
man.
point? Isn't that
tear
why
it
I'm
out,
here?
Tear it out of his hands right now. Okay, Piggles, like, if you had to suggest to them, I know they have been playing product and all these King of the Hill maps, but if you were coach, like, let's go with Four Fence right now. If you were coach Four Fence, what do you think they should pick?
Oh, that's a really good question. And it's a question I don't have the answer to.
Okay, what about MANDEM? Is it easy on MANDEM, maybe?
Again, it's a really good question.
Condawg, take that microphone out of his hand.
Answer.
Take that microphone out of his hand.
Turbo, I'm telling you, we're going to be seeing Metalworks come out of the MANDEM. They're very good at it. They beat the Frenchies on it yesterday. There's absolutely no reason why we won't be seeing it again. I believe MANDEM, they banned product yesterday, so I think they're probably scared of it a little bit. Yeah. And I believe J-Max is just whispering. He's just whispering there in the background.
That's privilege information for me, not for you.
All right, mate, all right. But no, yeah.
I love you too, J-Max.
Weird. Metalworks will be coming out. I can almost guarantee that. Snake Water, we'll see what happens. I'm not too sure.
Okay, so obviously this is a best of 3. Is it going to go to best of 3, Condawg? Is it like a long sort of standing game like that, or do you think it's just going to be a quick, tidy 2-0?
I think these two teams there's a bit of a difference between the two of them. You know, MANDEM, they're on this sort of witness level, and the Frenchies, they just haven't been able to hit their stride this LAN. They're getting rounds, but they're not taking maps that they need to. They're struggling versus Yak. I think they're just a tier below, if I'm honest.
Fair. Okay, Piggles, I'm going to ask your opinion here. So there's no wrong answers. Do not feel like you don't need to answer here. Who do you think's going to win?
fourFence have got this all the way.
Easy peasy. 2-0?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Am I doing it just for the sake of being the opposing guy? Maybe.
I'll take it.
Maybe.
I'll take
maybe.
whatever
But I
you'll
think
give me.
fourFence are going to destroy MANDEM. I think they're hot and ready to go. MANDEM, it's a little cold in their room. It's a little bit chilly.
Yeah.
Especially after I've mixed against them this morning. I've seen what their current experience, how they're playing at the minute. It's, they need to heat up.
Mac, do you believe in the underdog at all?
The Frenchies are the underdogs?
Yep.
Oh.
Apparently.
Yeah, in that case, yeah. Yeah, I do, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh? Oh, yeah. No, but
Yeah, they did come from the lower bracket. They are statistically the underdogs.
Sincerely, yeah, I think they can do it. I don't know, it's really evident.
If you had to picture a climate where they were going to win it, like what's the best way? Are they winning it just a tidy 2 first maps, or do they have to take it the distance?
They can win a 2-1. They're really good at fighting tooth and nail. I mean, look, the way they won Prem last season, all the way lower bracket run, beat everyone along the way. Even the final is like a, what was it, 3 mapper, right? And everything is like tooth and nail. They have character. They fight, Yeah.
And one more question for you, Mac. Obviously, this goes into a different question. I know who you think is going to win out of these two, but who do you think would be a better opponent for Witness? Seeing as you're the Witness Slayers.
I think both teams will do fine against Witness, yeah.
No, there's not one that's like more kind of Slayer,
no.
capabilities.
Really?
Elaborate.
MANDEM will be closer. MANDEM will be way closer. Yeah,
They'll
way
be a
closer.
better
Yeah. I don't know why, and I'm not going to go into detail. I'm not going to reveal my sources, but MANDEM will be closer.
Condawg, is it always going to be? Is this going to be turned into the new El Clasico if Witness keep playing? Just this MANDEM Witness fighting off against each other, or is there potential here for upset? Can you admit that MANDEM might be losing here?
So there's absolutely no chance of MANDEM losing. It is MANDEM all the way. We got Fancy Alpha on the chest. We believe the MANDEM are going to be taking it. Don't put it on your chest.
Well,
go on.
Okay, so we're still waiting on these picks and bans that.
Oh, Chelsea.
Okay, we're still waiting on these map picks and bans. They're being really, really delayed with it. I guess maybe like, I don't know, nerves, scared, breaks. What? If you had to take predictions here, like, do these map picks need this much weight behind them here, Condawg?
No, absolutely not. They've done it before. They just run it back. They're just probably peeing. They're probably chatting, watching a few demos maybe. The Frenchies might be polishing up a few last things. They've obviously just come off the Venom Crest game, so they probably just need their 15. I'm sure we'll be getting underway soon. I mean, there's 2 in the server. Like, what the hell's going on, James?
Piggles, from experience, how long do you mince over the maps? Is it something you guys actually stress over, or are you just like, nah, we'll just play this, play that?
No, there's some thought process behind it. I'm not involved in it, but when we were doing them as a team, it was elongated, wasn't it? It was a long time process of doing it. You led it a lot, you and Geordie. Yeah, so Mac would be your best one to answer this one, actually.
Mac, okay, well, explain to me your guys' process about map
our
picks.
process was I would have the keyboard at my hand, but then I would ask Geordie what we're doing, and he would tell me what to type, and I'd type exactly that. And then the only way I was really involved was being sent to lose rock, paper, scissors against the other team leader when it came to that.
Was there any sort of veto power amongst the team? Can anybody say to Geordie no, I don't want to play that? No.
It was very much just input. Like, we would cry that I would say, "Ooh, I really don't want to play this mid. It's so boring." And then Geordie would say, "Man up, you have to play it." And then he would always be right. And that was the worst part about it.
What were the good reasons? What were something that would actually change Geordie's mind?
Well, no, it was like I don't like doing a thing, but the thing works, and we win because of it.
No, but was there ever a time you went to Geordie and was like, "Oh, I can't play this because I don't have the map download," and he's like, "Yeah, okay, maybe we shouldn't play that."
I guess maybe the Metalworks mid, I just insta explode. There's like 2 guys like no clipping into my face, but like left and warped are like super slow, like Eddie Stobart Laurie.
Piggles, I'm clearly drawing out for time here, so I'm going to keep picking your brain.
Keep asking me.
So,
Fire away, me old Beamish.
what is there any sort of like, kind of bad medic maps? Any sort of medic stressors out there where you're like, good God, I hate this map. Why do we keep going to this map? Stop picking this map.
With regards to Fence and MANDEM, I think they both play fairly similar in terms of trading. There's a lot of trading that takes place, so they want trade-centric maps.
Is there any map with like the def mid where you just like it's not?
It's all down to the medic, I think. I think the really bad medics don't like mids. The really good medics like mids.
What do you think of mids?
I don't like Gully. If anyone wants intel on
you
me,
literally just said the bad medics don't like mids.
I never said I was good. I don't like Gully. I don't like Gully mids. So it's all personal opinion,
Yeah,
and
fair enough.
With
fair
regards
enough.
to medic, it's all about the rest of the team.
We've got 2 medics on the mains on here. Condawg, you know what? We bring out your medic prowess. Is there any?
Turbo.
Oh, you're right. I guess we've got 3 medics on here. I guess. Sorry, I
That
still
clown?
see you.
That clown at the end there? Absolutely
I
not.
still see him as a demo man.
Me
It
too.
can't change, but
Turbo, can I ask a question to the boys? Is that all right? If I just
I'll allow
relinquish
it.
you of your host?
you know what? Here you go, boys. You can take my mic.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, good stuff. I like this.
Thanks so much.
Gents, obviously you've played these guys over the course of the tournament. I'm guaranteeing there's going to be a Metalworks game. How do you deal with these teams on Metalworks? Obviously, you got the MANDEM squad. They got some fast soldiers. Haunts, Rons, they're all over you. All
The
over
Frenchies
you.
do it too.
What do?
The Frenchies do the exact same thing too.
So you think it's going to be all-out chaos on the mids?
No, that's pretty much it. If one team does it, you're forced into doing it.
Mm.
Otherwise, you send your demo alone to like die, and then you can just say, okay, I guess we hold second now.
So you think it's going to be pace on them, pace on them, pace on them all over it? There's a great phrase from Ron. You right there, Turbo? You okay there, mate? Ah, cool. There's a great phrase from Ron's, which is, we get them on their second and they are fucked. That's what he loves to say. He's always... I'm sorry, Andy. Sorry, mate.
They are screwed.
They're screwed. Sorry, yeah. He seems to be the Metalworks is all about the mid, and the transitions from mid to second aren't that good. Do you think that's the same?
What do you think about that, Pig?
Mid to second, what, as in going into second?
Just
from mid?
transitioning from across that area of the map,
Yeah,
from
it's-
second to second on Metalworks feels so awkward.
It is, it's crap in it. I mean, like pressuring into second, for example, as well. You only do valley stuff, it feels like, and then if you're going second back into mid, yeah, it's horrible. It is horrible. He's right.
It
on
feels
that.
like there's only
Yeah.
one door.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It does feel like that. Yeah, yeah.
So
Is that what you think?
I'm not. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. Do you like metal?
I absolutely love metal.
Do you actually? Seriously?
Yeah, it's great. You just run backdoor, you chill in valley, you wait for the soldiers, you bait
Yeah,
them
but
out.
that's all you do, though. That's it. There's
Yeah,
nothing
okay,
else.
it's not too fun, but that's medic, isn't it, mate? Like that's
No,
just...
because there are some that are better. Like, so I think Sultry's more fun than metal.
Yeah, Sultry's got some dynamics to it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. But you like metal.
I feel like we should include Turbo again. I'm gonna
Turbo.
hand in the microphone and.
Turbo, do you like metal?
Do you like metal, Turbo?
When was the last time?
Yeah.
When was the last time you played like a centre or a pug or something like
A
that?
centre or put. I played some centres. I played
Yeah.
some centres. Yeah.
When?
About make a month ago, I'd say. Not
All
too
right.
long. Not too long.
You
When's
still
the last
go for
time
it?
you played a centre, huh?
I see him on
The other day.
The other day, really?
Yeah, yeah.
What do you play?
I didn't really, but
Oh, you lying.
so you're still active.
Yeah,
what do
I
you
like
do? Do you
playing the
soldier?
game. I mainly like play some pubs or something. You know, just some.
What was your
casual
main?
fun.
Was it soldier?
I played soldier. My God, is it really like lost footage? Is it really that long ago?
It's pretty long ago, isn't it?
Yeah, I played soldier. I think I got to like Div 1.
Nice.
And then yeah, I got to Div 1. I think I
On a ball
tried-
mouse.
I tried
on
for
60 on 60 hertz.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, yeah.
No way.
Probably would have been worse than 60 hertz, probably. But yeah, it was got to that level. I tried for a few prem teams, and those didn't work out. It was like Wookiees.
Who was playing this? What season are we talking? How long ago?
Oh God, like 20ish, something like that.
Season 20.
Maybe even lower. Might be.
Yeah, dude, Prem was quite good at that stage.
Might be lower, something like that. To be honest, I started like season 9, so
Dude, I'm shook. I didn't know Turbo had it in him, you know?
I think I started watching at season 1, and then like I was like pubbing up, and then yeah. So I was here for a while, and then I didn't have the bravery or the skill until season 9.
Here's a question. You're gonna love this question, our Turbo, right?
Why are we interviewing me? I'm
If
the
you had to
host.
pick, you had to pick a team of 6,
Right.
all of them prime,
Prime.
Any,
oh, the
any
super. I get
any
to make a
saga
super
of
team.
TF2.
Okay.
You have to pick 6.
Okay.
Is that too many, or should I just say like 3? Let's go
Well,
with 6 first. And see what
What, are
happens,
they
yeah?
just teammates, or do I have to pick classes?
You get to build your super team that you just stand behind them at LAN and go, come on, lads, you've got this.
Ah, yes, Team Turbo.
So you could get Prime Cadus, you could get...
I don't want Prime
Prime
Cadus,
Mike.
no. I don't
You don't want Prime Cadus?
No, I don't want Prime
Really?
Cadus.
What? Who would you go? Go on then.
Uh,
So Demo Man, you wouldn't say Cadus.
no.
Would you
can
get
I come back to
Numlocked?
Demo Man? Can I come back to Demo?
Yeah, go on
That's
then. Yeah,
hard.
yeah.
Actually, no. I'll probably get Numlock. I'll change my mind.
Really?
Yeah, I'll probably
Really?
get Numlock. Yeah.
So like Lucas now or Domo? No, Habib.
I mean,
well, let's go
oh wait,
easy,
do I
won't
get?
we?
Whoa, I get to go
No,
continental.
no, go
whoa,
easy,
whoa,
mate.
whoa.
No. Not bothered about them lot.
All right. But yeah, probably Numlock. Mike Pocket.
Right.
Roma. I thought this player was like slept on. I'm trying to remember his name now. If I'm sleeping on. I can't remember his name. It was like a German Roma, and he was ever so good, but he never really got into the super prime. I'll come back to him because I'm forgetful.
Okay.
Scout Shockey.
So you're going old school. You're going
Shockey.
old school.
There was a Finnish player that was really good in like early div.
Af.
No, slow down. No. Even earlier. Like I'm thinking season 3. There was, I can't remember his name. Himsy.
Right.
Prime Himsy. Himsy. Shockey. Himsy on the flank. I've said the soldier. Oh wait, no, I haven't said the soldiers, haven't I? Medic. No, that's not going to help me. No. I think I like Raymond.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
You've got a little bit more new there, but it's mainly old there.
Yeah. Well,
So, like-
it's a long time. Don't you think it'd be a bit kind of weird?
So do you look at this era of TF2 now and go, bloody hell, Shockey would eat these alive?
I'm not that deluded.
And he does anyway, I mean, to be
there's
fair.
been advancement. Everyone's better now because you've got like more tools.
So it's just
PCs
a-
are better. All this stuff.
Oh, it's that old gag, is
Oh
it?
yeah.
Right.
Playing soldiers now is like so much more
not on a CRT
difficult
now.
and easier in a way.
So are you saying like Fortress used to be better? Is that what you're saying?
No. It's more like
it
was
used to be.
No,
there used to be more
okay.
soul and heart.
No. The TF2 was worse, but it was more competitive. Do you know what I mean by that? Like everybody was chomping at your ankles and all this. It was very hard to get into teams, and you had to like know the right people. There was no resources. You need to understand this. There was nothing.
I remember Cadus saying that. I remember Cadus saying that all these new people saying about how the old players were worse, but they invented like half the stats.
There was
to be fair.
not. You know, the best thing you could find like I think when I was looking back in the day, there was like 3 demos, and you were like watching a gravel pit and like a random POV. Obviously, you had no clue what there was. You couldn't. There wasn't even Source TV. You couldn't roam about. You just had the POV, so you didn't know in context what everybody was doing. You never had comms. It was hard to. Yeah, the only way to get things. Oh, we got the maps. We can stop talking about my dog shit teams. Woo! All right. After all that theory about Metalworks, I don't see Metalworks until right at the end. Okay, Piggles, reactions. It's actually Gullywash is going to be the first pick for MANDEM.
And look at that on the ban list there. They obviously didn't like the Cough Maps old MANDEM when they mixed me this morning.
They're terrified, fear.
Dude, Toby, you seeing this? The Frenchies have actually banned Snake Water right in the middle there after they picked it yesterday. Are they fearing the MANDEM on the Snake Water? What's going on there?
Maybe. I mean, it wasn't. I don't know. It was kind of solid against Venom Crest, but I think it was more that gimme round at the start. But maybe there's something about process. Obviously, they picked it in the Venom Crest game. They did win their map pick, so maybe they're feeling confident.
Honestly, I think I don't want to say it, Toby. I'm MANDEM all the way, but I'm almost favouring the Frenchies on these maps. It's very like Gully and Process. It's almost their home. The Process, the French, they've always been classically good on it ever since the callback and Medico days. Back on Top 5 Rocket.
I mean, for a moment there, gentlemen, we almost got to see Sultry. Why have we not been seeing Sultry at all?
It's new. It's terrible. It's not fun. Oh no, James.
Piggles, do you like Sultry?
No, I like Sultry. I think it's a bit of an upset map really because people just haven't figured it out in EU yet. So it's like it's almost coin flippy. I think.
Mac, what do you think of Sultry? Like, is there a reason why we don't see it at LAN?
What do I think about Sultry? I like it a lot. I think it's awesome. It's like a super basic layout. The only thing that's like semi-unique about it really is like the mid. It's just like a blank canvas. It's like it's super flat. You just stare at each other.
The most unique thing is because it's blank and plain.
It can be both. It's unique that it's blank.
Touche,
Every other
touche.
map has
Well,
props
is there
and stuff,
anything
you know?
that interests you about these map picks at all, apart from the sultry ban so late?
Not
mean-
to me, no. I think the cough bans from MANDEM are smart. That's not like a dig or anything. It's like I genuinely just think that. More so the product. I think MANDEM could do bagel. I'm surprised they banned that one more.
All right, I'm going to go down the line, gentlemen. If you had to say who won the map picks in bans, who do you think is won here?
Really? I mean, for me, it's.
We've even taken them
I've got
away
no
to make
clue.
it
I'll
more
give it to
difficult
Pig.
for you.
Pig said 4 fence.
Well, yeah, full fence for me.
And you, Condawg?
Yeah, I mean, I'm Mandem all the way. I think they will
Even
eke
after
out.
seeing those map picks in
I
bans,
think
you
they'll
didn't
leak it
have
out,
any
but I
doubts?
think the maps have gone 4 fences away. Just the first 2, they're pretty strong, but we're gonna get to metal eventually, and then the Mandem are gonna take it home. I think it's gonna be a 3-mapper turbo.
All right, gentlemen, thank you a lot. Not only for your analytical mind, but for kind of taking me back on memory lane for a little bit as well. And obviously a big thank you to Big Blokeland, to Piggles, and to Mac joining us, guesting on the couch. And Condawg, you're stuck here. So we'll be seeing more of you
Forever.
throughout the game. And yeah, I guess we'll take it away to our casters and see what they think of their 6 favourite players they'll have in time. Take it away, casters.
It's me, it's MANDEM. We're just going to have a, hopefully, great game on our hands. It's a rematch of the upper bracket yesterday. It's going to be time to prove yourself if you're the Frenchies. You want to finally beat this MANDEM team. You want to prove that you were the guys that beat Witness in week 1 and that you can do it again when you get to the grand finals as well. It's kind of a high order, but I think they can pull it off if they stick it through.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's also important to remember that Fence beat MANDEM pretty handedly last season in the Prem finals as well, right? Like, this is a matchup that I think historically as well mostly favors Fence. I think, remember in the regular season, this is, now I'm really testing your memory here a little bit in my brain. And I want all of Twitch chat to be ready to flame me to death if I am wrong in that being a 3-3, I think, regular season. Sounds right to me.
I think so. I mean, Fence have been, they've been dropping maps all season this season, so I think it's just a general, right? Like, that happened last season as well, even though they won, they were like a little shaky in the regular season and showed up for playoffs. And I think, we saw it against the game against Venom Crest, right? They work under pressure. I think once there's enough pressure just piled on, the egg is boiled through and they're perfected, right? And I think now with a do or die time, maybe a little bit slow, especially after this way too long break. They're gonna, maybe be a bit slow to start with again, but we'll see how they head into Gullywash, right? Players are getting ready in the server. I'm sure they'll be raring to go soon or late. I don't know. We heard our admins complaining about the map picks being very thought out. Like, they didn't talk about this, but like apparently these map picks were debated, especially by the Frenchies, in great depth.
Yeah, I think it's some of those moments where you almost wish that you had a camera with a microphone and then also a live translator as well, so you could tell what the Frenchies are saying as they're picking and banning these maps, right? Because we're talking about it earlier on the desk as well. Like map picks and bans are such a chess game in their own right that we very, very rarely get to sort of see behind the curtains for these picks and bans unless you sort of decide to go there yourself. Go stand behind, which is one of the benefits of LAN, of course. You can stand behind and peek in. When they pick their maps. We're looking at basically everyone in the server, but we just changed maps. So,
it's getting ready.
Got a little bit forward. Can you believe? Okay, here's the thing. I can give everyone in the chat a little behind the scenes. The admins desperately want the grand finals to be ready at 7 p.m.
So we have 2 hours.
We have 2 hours. And if not, J-Max will be very, very mad.
He's probably going to murder somebody.
Maybe me. I think I'm like prime candidate number 1, probably.
Just cause like you're a
J-Max
smug little
frustrations.
guy.
Okay, Sonny, we heard a lot of predictions
Yes.
on the couch. A lot of predictions, and I feel like multiple people on the couch flip backwards and forwards, depending on when you ask them on the death segment. What about you? How are you feeling about this map?
It's a curious choice indeed. I haven't seen it today yet. We've only seen one series, but in general, I think we haven't seen a lot of Gullywash this entire LAN. I think it's a map that's nowadays it's played a bit more rarely. People don't take to it as kindly anymore. I think we don't have Drax watching Big Door anymore. I love just hanging out. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I don't really know where to exactly put it. It's more spam heavy, and both of these teams have incredible soldier duos that love just spamming through doors, doing loads of damage. So I think both teams are probably happy with this mapping. I think I can see both of them having their time to play around. This is their playgrounds at the end of the day. The scouts are going to be there to back up their teams, and I think it's anybody's game.
Yeah, for me, I think ultimately, I have to kind of favor MANDEM a little bit. I was, especially with their regular season games of VT12, I was super impressed with specifically how their soldiers play this map. I think Runs has been such a driving, energetic force for this team so far this LAN. Also online, I think, as well, and Haunts, for me, has really stepped up so far this season compared to where he was previously. I think maybe the additions of Runs into that soldier combo has allowed him to sort of blossom a bit more, make some better plays, I think, as well. I think maybe this soldier duo might be the difference. As much as we'd like to talk about Brugman and Demul, I think they might find themselves a little bit outmatched here in this game.
Perhaps the age is going to catch up to Demul. We'll see if he's still got it at the end of the day. And I keep saying as well, but I really am impressed with the speed at which Samus has picked up the role, the mantle here. Because just a couple of years ago, he was a Div 1 substitute player coming in for Arcadia LAN, slotting into Flick's team for that one. And now 2 years later, he's on top of Prem. He's one of the best demos in the game. Super consistent, super good pipes. And the teams, I hear the numbers in my ear, are actually readied up. They're getting ready to go. We are finally seeing some gameplay for our lower bracket final. Forfins in the blue, MANDEM in the red. Taking it onto this first round of Gullywash.
Onto mid, it's early spam there, in from Delhi. Only finds one sticky onto June, and that's A-okay. The side of MANDEM, but it's actually Ron's falling down early on. It's just Haunts who has the bump forwards, and you manage to find 2 early kills onto the blue scouts. But Inso traded across now. It is MANDEM with the height. One and very late soldier there of Demul does try to bomb in, find some sort of chaos, but either way, that is MANDEM taking a mid-victory. They don't find the medic kill, but they have enough picks. You can see these scouts, they're willing to keep pushing forwards.
They want to get as much ground as possible, ensure Delhi isn't planning anything silly, any cheeky traps, and they get away with it. Second capped off as well for MANDEM here, and it's going to be Forfins having to hold this last some way. They certainly have time to set up. They got equal Ubers. Haunts tries to have a word with that, goes for an early bomb in, manages to just about narrowly escape with his life. That sentry was ready sooner than he expected. Forfins having a bit of foresight on that one, and it's going to be on MANDEM trying to bust this last one. Now there's ways to do this, but we'll have to see how they exactly approach it. The classic play is that water scout play, but maybe they're just going
Scouts already walking towards it. Inso already playing on it as well, right? Sort of spamming across. Soldier aggression comes in, but that's a reflected rocket from Bevo and a pipe from Delhi. Shutting up both soldiers down now means Inso's going to back off as well. So MANDEM aggression picked off for now. Instead, look at Delhi. Cheeky little trap.
We'll see if that catches anybody. You'd think at this point people are aware of these cheeky hiding spots, right? Really are going to spot that one out, but perhaps there's a bit of a proximity mine action there that he's just going to get away with as Inzo looking to make his way down river again, seeing how things work here. MANDEM perhaps expecting Forfins to be more aggressive there as well, but Forfins not willing to take that risk. We know they're a very passive team on this LAN, at least. They really don't want to take a risk that is not worth taking. We'll see how they approach this. They didn't spot the stickies, and Runs will die to them. Fair enough. Probably not the crucial pick they're hoping for, but it does open things up a little bit. And we'll have to see if MANDEM... No, they're not going to stick out anything more. They're not going to commit to anything more than that.
Yeah, that's just a single soldier sack at the end of the day. It doesn't get as far as you'd want it, but either way, I'm not going to lie. One single soldier sack into Gully last with a pyro and a sentry gun pump is just so hard to get anything to work. Instead, just going to set up in lobby right. Still no off classes for the side of MANDEM. I was also a bit surprised. You can see Inso just favoring the river, but has never actually committed into the water play so far. Just goes down, tries to bait a bit of aggression, but now as I come in with the Cast of Curse, he's immediately going a bit more aggressive.
Yeah, but he's also going to meet a soldier on his way for his troubles. Not going to be able to get this one away for free, at least not for long. Not a lot of ground to be taken here, and it's just going to be a bit of a struggle fighting those two down there. As the Mole is going to make sure that Scout doesn't get away with too much. I really think at some point MANDEM need to do something here. At least whip out some sort of offcast. That's probably why Inzo's in so deep now, right? Just seeing what he can get. Nice little pipe by Zams.
Oh, we're killing the gun as well. QB falls, and this is now wide open door here. Forfeits have to be careful because they're losing Demul as well to Inso on the flank, who's in through water, and this is so much cap time. Deli falls as well, and now you are relying solely on this Pyro to hold on. There's a lot of projectile coming across, but it's just not enough. MANDEM clinch it from kind of honestly nowhere, and that is a round on the board at 3.5 minutes.
Very clean under their noses. Inzo just walks on the point, basically caps the point entirely by himself, and that gets them a quick first round to start with. MANDEM coming out swinging, although it wasn't as with much bravado. It was more so a sneaky little underhanded play. Still, they're going to go up around, and it's going to be on forfeits to find a response, find their way back into this. See if this mid-fight will go a little bit more to their suiting, to their styling, because the first one wasn't all that, and this one is already off to a pretty bad start as they take so much damage straight away. Yubi finds Ron's below, but it's straight up with the Mul on the other side regardless, and it's just such low health. Look at the health on forfeits. Mula is very low as well. Has to back off to just try and keep himself alive, let alone his team, while they're slowly but surely getting pressured all the time. Brujma traded out for Inzo. They find Zams as well. It's maybe turning in favor of forfeits, but it took a long time to get there.
It's June falling really, really low in that mid-fight as well, but actually initially you're kind of correct, right? Like MANDEM had the high ground. The health of forfeits were not good. They're stuck at the enemy Victor on the low ground, but just the single bomb coming in from Brujman really freeing up the rest of his team to be able to recommit to the high ground space, and they managed to take the mid-fight victory because of it. Now, June did survive ever so just slightly, right? And that means that now she has 100% Uber as well. Inso's up on the spy. I do believe they are just checking in spawn, making sure that no one on the French side has gone sniper, as they are sort of prone to doing. Instead of the scout, though, see this time for the Frenchies, it is Demul who has been elected to go water.
He likes being down there, I suppose, and try spam the soldier on the ring. If you get the direct, it's certainly nasty. Hans is going to be the one to meet him for that, though, and I suppose forfeits have some plans for trying to get into this last. They got to do with that sentry as well, though. A little bit of stickies on the point, perhaps, seems to be a strategy they're attempting here. Zams is going to make sure Deli is going to with that, though. And Demul is going to get on the point. Lots of damage on Hans to actually kill him as well, but unfortunately they lose 2 more players for their troubles, and only half the cap time is not going to be enough to force anything else here, as Ron's tastes a little bit of opportunity maybe to try and follow up through River here. He will still continue the chase. He wants to get something here. Nice little damage here onto Deli, and the force is out.
Yeah, this is really nice from MANDEM, so aggressively in onto second. There's not that many blue players here as they're finally just respawning, but look at Boulder, has such a longer Uber to work with. The 200 damage on to Deli, but he doesn't actually end up falling. This is now a very chaotic fight, and the Frenchies are coming out on top, finding all of the kills. Zams falls as well. It is one Portuguese soldier. He does not have time to go on to last. Inso is up in 2 seconds along with Rons, but it is not in time because that is Nebo and forfeits striking back on second.
Beautifully done, and this is why Cadus tells you to not push out of last unless it's a sure thing. A bit too eager, Ron's maybe smelling a bit too much, taking his team too far forward too quickly, and they get punished hard for it. Forfeits clap back, 1-0. Plenty of time left in the map. It's gonna be a quick one, it seems, as the teams trade blows for the time being. And forfeits looking a lot more solid on that last minute. It took a while to get there, but they were doing things right eventually. So we'll see if this early aggression onto Deli. Good lord.
Just unplayable mid there for Zams at the beginning, and this is now Nebo winning a 1v1 as well. On the flank, it's Boulder finding 1 kill as our stream feed is crashed for now. Hopefully that is not reflected on your end. It is not. We luckily have another STV to watch as well. I have 2 actually. I have the Observer PC right next to me. So we're going to cast from Zamus's computer for now, as Hunts has fallen onto the mid, and that means that it's actually for a mid-fight victory. No medic falls, and so we're completely fine. We're chilling.
We're just hanging out. There you go. Things are just as good as they have always been. Unfortunately for MANDEM, though, they find themselves on their own last again. Forfeits will once more have an opportunity to actually get into this last in some ways. Worked well last time, although it was off of a mistake of MANDEM messing up a little bit trying to push out. So I don't think they're making that mistake again as easily. You're going to have to actually work for it a little bit more this time around. And, well, I suppose some new strategies, some new things can always be underway here as they send, it looks like 2 people into water this time around. At least QB's more so facing that side, and they think they're aiming for that sentry first. That's the first target here.
I really like the pistol spam from QB as well. Obviously, you cannot reflect the bullets. No matter how fast your reaction speed, that is just not how that button works. But it is Nevo taking that first kill, and that means that now there's going to be a bit more aggression. Zam's finding a really nice pipe, but does a soldier fight in lower? One by Haunts. The re-aggression coming out from runs doesn't find any kills. That ultimately now, just a 2-man sack for 4 fence. Down a scout and down a soldier, not the end of the world. You trade one as well, and MANDEM, they have no reason to push out of Lust.
And they are going for the off classes. Nevo on the sniper, ready to make the difference here, perhaps, to try and bust it open. Boulder immediately checking that as well, knowing full well this is going to be something that's possible. So they're aware that the sniper will stare them down at some point in some angle, but do they know it's going to be from main as he looks down onto the point? Nobody to look at just now. They're all hiding, and there's a soldier to meet him immediately. Rons has spotted him like a shark smelling blood in the water, immediately taken care of. This Pyro to follow up, just make sure nobody else dies, and then 2 players in water. Oh, mating Hans, unfortunately, the Mole is going to pay with his life for that one.
Yeah, Haunts plays that so well. In onto water, onto QB, but cannot win that one. We won now. It's still just a scout trapped in water. He's about 60 HP, making it really hard for him to actually get out. Just has to wait for a medic bow, and now Sentry Gun has been spammed down by Deadly, and that is so much point capture coming in from QB, who just sends it in forwards onto it. It's Brudgeman falling as well, but he manages to get it onto June. This is an uber forced. Counterpop does come out of Mula, but now chaos is descending upon this last point.
The Ubers have faded. This last fight is going to be unleashed because there's no way for Friends to feel themselves in a little bit of a dry fight here post this. The sentry is coming back up though, and the longer they take, the less time they have. I think that window of opportunity has already passed away. They couldn't get Inzo off that engineer. They couldn't get that sentry out of the equation for long, and I think it's just going to result in this little reset as they have to find a way once more. But that cap time is scary. A soldier with a pain train perhaps, as they keep sending, this time it's Brugman, a soldier down into that water area just to make sure that that soldier on the rim is eating a lot of damage actually. It's going to be perhaps less of an issue for QB to deal with, and perhaps this underhanded strategy that they lost to the first time around will work for them this time around.
Brudgeman's doing a really good job of hitting those upwards directs. Those are not easy shots to make, but really just finding them so well. Uncontested in water still, and he's just going to keep bobbing backwards and forwards here. He keep taking this 1v1 with Haunts, who will eventually end up getting pressured off. This is, as much as it's a nice position to hold above point, eventually you can just be spammed by like 4 different angles at once, right, when you're holding up top. It's quite easy also to just fall off, but instead he's just going to jump down, and this is 2 kills onto Brudgeman and onto QB. Now the Frenchies having to back off. Not sure how dangerous that actually is. You have to look at the top of the scoreboard at the moment because it is a minute 30 left. And that's a Rum's counter sack coming in, which I think is about all MANDEM really have to send it. Now, pressure on the Frenchies, right? Minute and a half left to go. Your water plays have not worked yet.
They work eventually. I mean, Hans again traded out just for Nevo. It's certainly not a bad trade, but it also doesn't make things any easier for Tamul having to face down the Pyro now on the point. Boulder trying to suck down. Brugman's in though, gets the force out of June. That is a huge bomb in, just right past the sentry. Now they just have to make sure Mula hangs onto his own, and they have a prime opportunity to take this in. A minute left on the clock. It's plenty of time to convert a round, but you have to make this Uber count, and you know damn well MANDEM are going to be putting Boulder as far forward as possible to try and right-click on these players. And well, if they're going River and he's on the shutter, that's already given them a little bit to work with.
It needs to be absolutely textbook here for full fence. 40 seconds and a single chance with this Uber advantage to come in. Having to send it in through River this time, and it isn't Soldier. Ubered in through lower, but look at that double dunk coming in, delaying so much. Nevo already picked off as this Sentry Gun is going to work, but that is QB on the point, uncontested. So much damage comes across, but Deadly now alone versus a Sentry Gun and a Pyro and a Medic. He has to crack this anyway. He will not have teammates for support. No one can be there to defend the sentry, but doesn't quite shoot it down. Has to pick it off. Now, spawners are going to come up from MANDEM, and Deli still somehow, someway, needs to just find this 1v4, but unfortunately he is stuck back in River. The time is just going to run out. There might be a little bit left because they still have the cap time on the point, and Brudgeman is going for the play. He's on the pain train, but that is Horns getting the drop onto him. Now, Pyro taking a lot of damage, but this is the point, slowly climbing out. And we reset all the way back to middle.
That's as close as it's going to get for offense on that one. We're going to be resetting back to a mid-fight. 17 minutes on the clock still. It feels like it's been a lot longer with how close that has been so far, but it's still 1-all. It's still anybody's game, and MANDEM have to get back on top of their mids. They haven't looked as convincing in the last couple. They need to find a way to respond to this 4-fence aggression that we're seeing right now, and well, I suppose now's the time to shine if they manage to get away with it, and perhaps some early damage will be good, but unfortunately Zam is shut out again. Ron's is the first to fall as well. Everybody's very low on the side of 4-fence, and they do find Brugman in response. Deli does live, will get the arrow in time. Hans gets around as well, but it's only on to QB. Finally find a fragment to Gamul. It's players up for MANDEM, and that might be enough to win them the mid. But it's not very decisive, and 4-fence are certainly going to be able to hold onto second for a while here.
Yeah, they're completely fine, right? Just chilling on second. You have to be a little bit careful for the immediate dot push there with that scout just barreling in. But it is MANDEM securing control of the high ground on that mid, with 4-fence just forced to sit back and eat spam. Could not stay in. They find the cleanup frags there on MANDEM, and now this midpoint secured, but it is a stalemate as well, and that means Inso is going to try himself a little bit of sharp shooting. Peeking in through big door.
Big door angle, certainly an interesting one. And it's nice little body shot onto the soldier and choke, actually, as he gets that shot rung off. They know about the sniper now. And if you know that the sniper's in play and you know that he's big door, that's when you start thinking about maybe busting through choke if you're 4-fence here, if you feel like getting back at the side of MANDEM. Because there's going to be a lot of support for the sniper here. And if you play your cards right, you might be able to get away with something. But knowing this aggression is coming their way, 4-fence, MANDEM, rotate around a little bit. And just picking their battles here. Can't quite line that shot up on the scout. Inzo not managing to get the angles he wants to just now. He will hit up the shot onto Nevo, with the soldier behind being a bit of a distraction as well. QB will clean that up, but still, it opens up ever so slightly, maybe.
MANDEM really like that play of sending most of their combo in through big door to allow them to send some other player in through lower, and then potentially into cause mayhem in behind in lobby. They've been running this play all season. Kind of mirroring it from Witness as well, this time with the sniper in tow, and you can kind of see Inso really struggling to actually find some kind of an angle. All you need to do, Sunny, is complain about snipers not getting an angle, and they will hit headshots.
They will find the headshot they need to. Unfortunately, it wasn't a kill, though. It's just a little bit of damage to get the soldier out of position for a bit. But hey, they're giving him more and more angles. I mean, 4-fence, surely now, they want to be a little bit more aggressive than Big Door, right? They want to make sure that this sniper does not get away with anything for free, but they're putting themselves at risk, too. Any frag he trades for is insanely valuable. Obviously, more valuable targets always available, but even just getting a soldier on the flank here opens things up so much for them. Less spam coming their way, less people on choke as a result as well. If they can split their attention here, have this two-pronged approach. A scout frag there onto Nevo. That's a good opening, and there's Hans in with the bomb. Does get onto Mula. 1 HP before he pops. Just about, but it is a force out of 4-fence, and June is in no danger.
It's a sniper behind Inso. Goes for a bit of an aggressive play there, does end up falling. This is now a bit of damage control for MANDEM, right? Yes, you did so much trying to get this force in, but it is just the Frenchies going in straight away. And if you sack a demo for that Uber charge that could spell the end of the round, you are sending in so many straggling players, though. Already 2 down, no demo man up means that MANDEM can bust in through choke. You have to be so careful. 91. Demul needs to find so many rockets here in on top of choke as the rest of MANDEM are funneling forwards. It is one soldier who has to do the world, and he just barely can't find it, as that is now Horns in through the flank, finds 1 kill onto Demul, and I think that might open up the play for everyone else. June stuck as Ron's bombs directly into her and does find that cleanup kill onto Mula. Now it is everyone falling, just Deli is up on last, and MANDEM, I think they might be fancying themselves just a little bit more than second there.
Yeah, I think there's a good chance to get on into last year as well. They can even take their time if they so desire. Sure, there's going to be a sentry coming up for Nevo, but that's still going to be a big Uber to work with as well. If you can get a little bit of aggression, a little bit of stuff going there, you should not have to struggle that much. And 4-fence, they've been doing an okay job holding this last, but they also haven't been here in a while. The first time around they held for a bit, but they do have to find a way to hold this. It's going to be a miraculous hold that is required for this, because this is a nasty, nasty situation going up against them. Uber comes through the shutter, immediately launched and vaulted forward. The sentry is taken down as well. Now they have to make sure that these respawners or these people rotating to respawn don't become an issue. A little bit of cap time being put down as well, but the stickies are still in play. Deli is alive and well under that point. They've only found Brugman, but everybody else just trapped in spawn. Nobody on this French team can leave spawn right now. They're below the point or in spawn, and as soon as those stickies are cleared off, the cap time is coming through. Finally, Hans bombs around, gets the frags, and there's the point for MANDEM.
It is a slow and patient push there from MANDEM ultimately. They have the advantage, and they just refuse to let that heavy get anywhere near the point. Stuck in spawn, getting that kill onto the Pyro as well means that eventually you can just pressure out Delhi, and that means that now MANDEM, with 11 minutes and 30 seconds to go, find themselves with a round lead, and fourFence are now squarely on the back foot on this map number 1.
However, 12 minutes is still plenty of time to work with as well. They can find their way back into this, regain their stride, stop stumbling, and gain your footing back as they have to try. And first of all, get a mid going, as Delhi already dangerously low. It's not going to make it any easier, and Ron's bombing into the combo as well. A little bit of frags now cleaned up either side. No soldiers though for the side of MANDEM. Maybe makes it a little bit easier for fourFence.
Insert.
Hits some ground, Insert in deep, does a lot of damage. Everybody on fourFence kind of lows, just spread about a little bit, but Mula will probably live, gets the pack eventually, and in terms of numbers, that's enough for fourFence to get that mid win eventually.
They are
decisive.
They are so low there
Yeah.
on mid, right? All of them down below 50 HP. That is one scout frag away, but QB is up on the spy. I think just spy checking, just to make sure that Inso doesn't go sniper or anything funny in that moment.
No, he's out, actually.
They're both, wait, he's on spy, Inso's also on spy, so now they know.
Now they know something.
They know the QB is on spy. Question is, are they going to play around it? As QB is just making his way through choke for the moment. They're not spy checking quite yet. And this is an early kill onto Demul as well, in through Big Door, meaning that MANDEM might even fancy themselves a bit of a push out here. And QB's going to spot this. I wonder if QB's going to go for the play. Looking to decloak in a second, it would be good. They are not spy checking this whatsoever. I think they might just assume he would have been in spawn now. He can just keep scouting out for his team. Does not need to call this out immediately.
Yeah.
But Sunny, I don't think they know. Okay, never mind.
They know now. They know now. Unfortunate. You cursed them once more.
I think my caster curse might be the most powerful.
Divine Intervention, aka Wandem, has struck once more. This insolent fool of QB has been struck down by the heavens. Oh well, that's how it goes sometimes. At least he got a little bit of info out of that, and I mean, they were aware of it. It would be coming their way eventually. So now, QB's going to pick up the rifle instead. He's going to try to shoot some heads and see how that goes for them. And they need something to work. Less than 10 minutes now on the clock for fourFence to bring back at least a round, ideally 2, so they can win before the Golden Cap becomes a problem. And, well, they got to do what Inzo couldn't really, right? He tried this on the other side last round, couldn't really get much going with the sniper play on the second, so perhaps QB's the man for the job. It's an early angle onto the demo there, but now they spotted him. He's not going to peek that anymore. Zams is going to be very careful, and it's going to be a little bit of a different story, as maybe fourFence want to try this lower strat and see if they can get somebody behind into lobby. Maybe QB himself, perhaps? Fancying himself a little bit of an idea, but it's not happening. Gonna smoke point for a while.
QB does open the door for Demul, who manages to get his way in. I actually don't think he's been spotted quite yet. But that's a soldier on River who should... Oh my god. Okay, there we go. Just about spots Demul there, and it's QB falling quite low in the meantime as well. This has to be, if you are the Frenchies, right? This must be so mentally grating here, right? For MANDEM, who could just be content to sit back and run down this clock as much as possible. Really chose you to make the play. Okay. That play apparently is just Nevo straight in through choke as he finds a lot of damage. But it is Brudgeman and Demul sacrificed for this scout running forwards. And I just don't think there's any positioning left for fourFence here as they lose both their soldiers. And now this is really scary here for fourFence.
They lose QB as well, can't really get a cheeky sniper.
Oh
and
my
just
god.
behind, huge damage onto the combo. Mula's dead. It is crumbling for fourFence. This French combo is utterly demolished. Zams is even rolling further forward, just waddling with the rest of his team in tow. There's nothing that can stop them from getting the second, and I'm pretty sure this last is also going to be a quite the easy approach from MANDEM to take.
It's about 50 advantage here on June. She did have to pop an Uber charge in the process, but all's well that ends well, right? They have a massive advantage to work with here. Sentry Gun is going to come up out of QB, and fourFence are going to need to do a little bit of aggressive holding here, right? Now is the time, like, ultimately, this is not a position you want to be in, right? You're down around 7.5 minutes left, and now the Uber's just going to come straight in onto Boulder. Actually, the Sentry Gun is going to get shot at least a decent amount by the Demo Man, and the Scout is going to come down now. the rest of MANDEM circling around this point. Once again, is a heavy in spawn, but what does that do if your Demoman's alone on the point, just getting pressured out by both of these soldiers who are bombing in, and the cap time is so much. Haunt just cleaning up as well. And this is MANDEM now. 7 minutes to go. We called it a lead before. This lead now commanding.
Very much so. And again, the same last push out of MANDEM. Very patient, just pulling players onto the point with that point pressure and getting them mulched by the soldiers eventually. 2 rounds down for Forfence. 6.5 minutes on the clock. It has been done before. It is absolutely feasible for them to pull this off, but they have to get into gear. They have to shift this into a higher plane if they really want to have a chance of still getting going. And Bula already so low to start with means he's going to be out of eco while Deli gets dropped immediately. Well, they find a nice little boyfriend bomb onto June. Enzo gets taken care of as well. Hans too. The Mule hitting the shots he needs to. He's already done the work he needs to for this mid, as long as Mula stays alive here, and Boulder can't get on him, but he will get at least a little bit of damage in before being cleaned up. This is what Forfeits needs. This is the type of mid they need in order to have a chance at coming back in this map.
It's a massive advantage here for Mula as well. 80% Uber is going to need to be effective. You look at the timer here, you want to at least equalize this. You do not have time to mess up this Uber pop. You have to go in, and you have to make this work. Sentry Gun is going to be built by Inso, but is that going to be enough? June electing to come up on the crit streak, maybe find some kind of a post-Uber crits in onto the enemy team to shut down Forfence, and maybe their chances. Uber now straight in.
Gonna be on this shutter side, so we'll see how well they can actually manage to work this. The safe Nicky's on point are gonna be a bit of a pain spot for them. Nevo's already dead, there goes Bushman as well. QB's gonna try to pressure point, but still gets just taken down one by one. They're getting most on the point. They don't even need the crits, they don't even need anything else. People are just walking on the point, one by one from the side of Forfence, getting grinded into little Gibbs. And, well, it's a hold by MANDEM. With they're not even gonna switch off of the crits even. They're not even gonna run it.
That was so late that this is giving Mula a big advantage. I'm not sure if the French realize this, but they have about 50% advantage. I get that you want to swap off the crits.
Yeah, that's
but
curious.
Oh my god, like this is actually like, if they know. Like, okay, like look at the timer. They kind of just have to send it, right?
Yeah,
especially when they're fighting on second. They will not have an Uber for this. Runs has already fallen, but luckily for the rest of MANDEM, they're cleaning up both enemy soldiers as now Julius and Zams combine for another pipe there onto QB, and I think maybe Crisis might be averted here. It's only 3 Frenchies up on mid, and I don't think they realize that this is not really a fight that MANDEM can take.
No, I don't think that there's going to be much more here. Hans, nice little rocket. Doesn't get the air shot, though. Kelly will live that time around.
They can go for this, by the way. But they just don't even flash him. I think they just don't know.
They don't know. They could have gone for the exchange there or just like a force in, but they're going to take it slow. Now they know Ubers are going to be equal.
This is one of those things, Sonny, where when you watch back this SCV, you are going to be like
so mad.
Yeah, you are really going to be punching your monitors a little bit, because you will see this opportunity as what it was, which is massive opportunity missed. Now it's all on Demul once again. In behind here, in onto lobby, and he does not have that much time to try and make something work. We found 2 players, QB and Demul. They need to get something started here. Demul now with the high ground as well. You really, honestly, you have to accept that this might just be a one Hail Mary straight in onto the MANDEM medic.
They have to get a very, very crucial bit going here, and unfortunately for them, June is so far away from any danger as Evo just runs in, goes for the exchange instead. The Chariot of the Scout, it's going to be on these Ubers fading though. The positioning of Forfence afterwards as MANDEM all retreat into lobby, trying to salvage what they can.
Oh my god,
Demul! June gets caught as well. Demul is in behind. Is he going to get
Oh my!
He gets Boulder.
Demul!
And Zams trades
Massive 3K QB with the 1v1 onto Inso. This might be the light, the ray, the glimmer of hope as Frenchies off of a miracle play there. Demul, Ugg still got it.
Ugg still got it, my man. He still absolutely got it. That was a perfect textbook flank, winning his team the round with that one. And Forfence are still in this. 2 minutes, 36 seconds is enough for a round on Gullywash, but you have to boo quick. You have to be insanely quick, so fast that you can't step up whatsoever.
This needs to be a mid-fight victory here for Fence. They have not been that successful. Come on to the middle point here, but it starts off with Demul and Brudgman early on combining there in onto Haunts means that is a very aggressive Sams who finds absolutely nothing. Scout of Inso is down on the low ground, just cleaned up, and Demul is once again picking apart MANDEM, who lose their soldier on mid. June is alone. Not building, and that is a very aggressive demo man, not going to find the kill, but it is going to net Mula a massive advantage that they can use to send this in and equalize this in regulation.
They are going to be so fast with this boulder with the sniper as well. That's scary. Mula doesn't have yet. He can't quite pop to try and get onto that. They finally do, and they will be able to shut out these MANDEM players a little bit. The cap time on that second feels so slow, though. It's the longest cap ever, but eventually
the cap
pops. They do get Nevo on the point as well. There's so
Nevo!
much time. The Uber comes out to block it, but there's nobody
You
live.
have to watch the HP. It's only Boulder left. He has to solo this on Pyro. He has the heals of his medic, but the Uber now fading means that June will fall, and Fence are tying us up. And you know what, Cerny? Look at the timer.
There's still a round in this.
We can go fast.
There's a round in this for both teams still. If they move absurdly quickly, they can still get this done without needing a golden cap. But they have to move extraordinarily, flawlessly quickly. And I don't know if they've got the steam in that for them at this point, or if they're just going for the golden cap. I suppose we'll see how they kick off this final mid-fight on Gullywash.
It might be the final mid-fight. We might be going to a golden cap here. You have to play it fast. And look at Deadly just bullied by Haunts there on the middle. But the Frenchies actually taking this quite slow as they manage to clean up 2 here onto middle as well. And without a dominant mid-fight victory, it might be really difficult to MANDEM to clean this up in regulation. Demul does not find the shot in onto June. And it is one Brudgman up on blast. There's 30 seconds here. You can send a scout onto this. They have an Ubercharge to work here. MANDEM might steal this from right under the Frenchies' noses.
There's still a chance. They
have
have
to be
20
so
seconds.
fast.
They have to basically be on
20
last now.
seconds.
They have to be on last now. They can't afford to wait any longer, and they're waiting too long. They're not getting ready. 13 seconds. They
It's 12.
basically have to stand on the point right away if they want to have any chance. If the Uber comes through, they have to get these players out of the equation as quickly as possible. They
Soldier?
find Brugman, but is that all they're going to get for the time being?
The cleanup!
They get them. They get them. They get
They're
all the
getting
frags.
it!
Not enough time.
Oh!
There's not enough time.
The difference. It's the map timer versus the round timer. The round timer only ends when the cap runs out. But the map timer?
There's no quarter there. It has no mercy.
Sonny, we were like 3 seconds away from a regulation time victory there.
Yep. Not happening.
We were
this
so
lap.
close.
That's not happening on this lap. We're going to a golden cap, baby. We're going to the golden cap, and they're continuing their tradition from yesterday. MANDEM and Fence, very closely matched thus far.
I wonder what we see on mid now. I feel like we've seen basically everything from both teams.
Yeah, no.
And we've seen everything from both teams work and also not work.
Yeah. No, they're just perfectly matching each other right now. It's unbelievable how tuned in, how dialed in they are to everything. So
it's such an effort from the Frenchies to come back from that, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're down 3-1 with that amount of time left to somehow find it within you to push this for 2 rounds. It must feel like momentum now, even though, okay, but that's the thing, right? That momentum is so good, and then they're like seconds away from losing that round at the end anyway. Like, honestly, I was about to make the point that maybe momentum in the Frenchies' favor, but is it really?
They lost it at the end, so I don't know. They still, like, they're going to be hot on the heels here. They're going to... This mid-fight is going to dictate it. I think this is not going to be one of those... I want to say it's not going to be one of those careful, methodical mid-fights. I think both teams are going to go all out. And I think it's going to be do or die. Like, whichever team loses this mid is probably quickly losing the golden cap. I think they're both going to go all out. One team is going to wipe, and then it's just going to be a Hail Mary if the other team that has wiped can hold. I don't think there's any other way of reasonably putting that, in my opinion at least.
We're going all the way here on map number 1. Sunny needs a sippy sip of water. I've been sipping throughout the map, like you do as a caster. I'm really curious here now. Like, we were talking about the mids earlier, but like, honestly, Sunny, I genuinely couldn't tell you who's been playing better, to be honest. I feel like the last person you would really actually expect to come up with these heroic plays that you need at the end, if you're looking at the Frenchies, I would not expect it to be Demul, but Demul somehow in that very end, right, just finds a beautiful, disgusting frag.
He's absolutely...
Can I show you something from the... Can I read it out for the world? We have on the Observer there us telling them to go live straight away, and then immediately saying, hell nah.
And yet they still go live straight away. They listen. when the big man in the chair in console tells them to go, they have to go. And this is going to be the Golden Cap to decide map 1 of Gullywash between forFence and MANDEM in our lower bracket final. A quick early map could really give each team the momentum they need to get into that final witness. And so far, it's going to be quite the aggressive mid. Runs deep bomb in straight away, directly on top of Mula, but it's not enough to clean up. Hans is there as well to finally clean up that damage. Jelly goes down as well. That's the core of the combo done. 2 soldiers and Evo left. Are they going to be able to clean up the other side? They find you no heals, but in terms of health, it's just so much better for MANDEM. More numbers, more health. It's only Brugman remaining for the French side here, and he's trying his damnedest to get anything going with this flank behind.
There's a consolation prize, right, in the fact that the Frenchies do manage to find this kill onto June. Brugman. You can see exactly what he wants, right? To extend this lead even further by coming in onto the medic. Unfortunately for him, that is like 3 players up and ready to escort enemy medic. Now he's been spotted as well in behind. And this means effectively MANDEM, they're fighting themselves with a pick advantage. You can see them already moving towards that choke, or are they? You have to be so careful in a situation like this. Because if you slip up, Brugman can come in from right underneath you and steal this first map away from you.
And they're being very, very careful with it. So scared of this opportunity. Matter of fact, they're sending back a soldier to try and deal with him. Hans is going behind to battle this menace behind and make sure that this is not going to be a problem they have to deal with. They have a little bit of time to work with, so I guess they're just going to slow things down. And actually, they send in a second scout to help out as well. That's a rocket onto Hans, but it's not enough for the frag. And officially now, forFence are down a player, and MANDEM might want to move.
But it's delayed them for long enough, right? We're now in an even-Uber situation. We're completely fine if you're forFence, right? You lose 1 soldier, but you had to send 2 behind to kill Brugman as well, meaning that there's not going to be any aggression in the meantime, right? Even though you are down a player. And you get an Uber off of your own. That means that now MANDEM once again looking into Big Door, and they have already sent a soldier in behind. It is Horns taking a 1v1 with a Brugman in the lobby, eating a lot of damage there as Inso as well, trying to join him. And they do actually manage to find the cleanup frag. Now Scout comes in, trying to counter onto Horns, who does not quite find that rocket. And pressure builds. MANDEM now already finding 2 as the Uber is coming in. Need to get a better post-Uber position here to actually get a successful fight going. But it is just MANDEM looking to steal away that point. Demul trading, Horns falling. It is a nuke in the river. And to be honest, Cerny, I cannot tell who's winning.
It's an absolute back and forth mess. And all of that just to cap second. MANDEM will finally be able to convert that point, and forFence have to set up for last. Both medics live crucially, so there's no clear advantages beyond this. And even though Deli's going to be down for a while, he'll be up in time to defend this point, and they'll be up in time in general for forFence to set up what they need for this last hold. Pyro, Sentry, everything is in its position, everything is where it needs to be. They're building that Uber as fast as they can. MANDEM, they're not in the clear just yet. They haven't won this just yet. They still have to work for this last point. And there are many ways to do it on Gully, but they have to find the right one. Because it's only this 6 minutes before they have to go to another mid fight and win that.
So we are just kind of scouting lobby for now, right? Like no real aggressive play for the moment. It is just MANDEM scouting out where the enemy is holding. Here's the traditional Pyro, sentry gun up. We've been seeing it all map along. I'm pretty sure MANDEM will probably be sending someone under by now. We could see Inso is sitting right there. A lot of pressure on to Deli, who does lose his buff, and Zam's managing to spam down that gun, meaning that MANDEM aggression is coming forwards now. Horns is in onto the enemy medic, and just finds 2 rockets.
Beautifully done, slips in perfectly, moving around, weaving through that little last point there, and that is what MANDEM needed. They get the sentry down, they get their star soldier in to get that force out of Mula, and forFence are going to be scrambling to get a defense mounted for this. It's so tough against a full Uber. MANDEM have such an easy opportunity here, and if they're going to just do the same thing again, shut them in spawn, make sure that nobody from forFence can even get close to that point, then bully out Deli. It looks like that might be what they're trying to go for as they go through River here, and these air blasts are going to have to make count for that.
Oh my god, but they find one! They find the kill onto Demul already. Sentry gun falling, and that is a dead Deli. Now, just no point presence at all. Inso is in there for free. And MANDEM taking a map number 1, Golden Cap. Gullywash is theirs. But forFence putting up one hell of a fight.
Absolutely. Not giving that one away for free. Fighting tooth and nail against MANDEM. A very close comeback towards the tail end of the regulation time as well. And they're taking it just not quite in the Golden Cap, but I'm sure our couch is going to have plenty of choice words about this match. So let's just let the brains do the talking on that one.
Let's just do the brains, the token on that one.
Let's just do the brains.
The brains.
Bring me a scout brain, bring me a soldier brain, bring me a medic brain. I've got a medic brain, I've also got a scout brain, but I've also got a soldier brain here. We welcome Nicky to the couch from Danish Tyrant Regime. Hello, Nicky. Did you watch the game at all? Is there anything that kind of caught your eye? I'm going to just let the floor open to you. You just tell me what you thought was interesting about that match.
I thought it was interesting that, I mean, both teams looked a little bit like uncomfortable at the start, and then they kind of started warming up into it, I think. I mean, there was a moment particularly at, I think it was 2-3, and MANDEM were holding their own second. Yeah. And FF were, obviously they needed a point, and they just walked all the way in through Big Door, because MANDEM were just, they weren't confident to hold Big Door, and they would just walked all the way in and popped, and they were in the middle of like 4 MANDEM players in the Uber, and they just wiped them. But yeah, I mean, but as the game went on, teams both started getting more aggressive and just they were able to punish a lot more. I mean, Horns at the end just bombing into last, and he's just able to jump around and get onto Müller and support him.
Condawg, they really do like these solo Uber exchanges over on 4 fence. I don't know, maybe it's just like survivorship bias, but I feel like they fail more than they do like succeed. Are they really worth doing these sort of solo scout Ubers?
I mean, Turbo, I think a lot of it, I mean, we've been looking at the logs. Bruno, he's struggling. And I've seen a couple of these where he's getting dropped. You know, I think there's the combo of 4 fence is a little bit dysfunctional at the moment. They did well to come back into it, but I think that's probably the work of Demul. Demul's really sort of making magic at the moment. I'll be honest, 8 minutes left. I went to the toilet. 3-1. I thought the MANDEM boys, they were safe. I come back downstairs. It's 3-3. Golden Cap. Yeah, my heart's been racing. I've been nibbling away at the fingernails. You know, it's intense TF2. I mean, MANDEM. That's like the last 3 maps they've played, especially the games getting witnessed yesterday. Also just as close.
Nicky, now obviously it was a 3-3 Golden Cap, but if I told you the context that was MANDEM's map pick, does that actually put a bit of points in the favour of 4 fence, or is this still like quite confidently MANDEM's game to win?
I mean, I think MANDEM's definitely, I probably would have favoured them to win. I mean, they did beat them yesterday, right? I think they played. So yeah, I mean, definitely makes sense that they won. I think Delhi had a pretty good map because it's like, it's Gully, obviously it's a very good demo map. I think next match Process, right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, on Process, I think my prediction is I think Delhi might struggle a little bit because if you high bomb if you high bomb against FF, Delhi will kind of do this thing where he tries to disrespect the soldiers and like shoot your team. But I think against Rons and Haunts, I mean the way they're playing right now, I think Delhi might struggle a little bit on the mids. That's just my prediction for next map.
Condawg, seeing as we're talking about Process now, and that is the map pick for 4 fence. They decided to go with this. They obviously showed Venom Crescent. It was, somewhat, clear cut that Process was in them. Is this going to be more of a clear scoreline that you're predicting, or is it just going to be as nitty gritty as it was on this Gullywash map?
Turbo, we're into the final days of the competition. I think every single game we've got coming up is going to be close. Every team's going to be fighting tooth and nail for every round they can possibly get. Process, I mean, they've gone away from the Snake Water. They tried Snake Water against MANDEM yesterday. It didn't work out. They've changed it up a little bit. They actually banned Snake Water, as we saw in the map picks earlier. I think it's going to be extremely close yet again. I think we might be going to 3 Turbo. I think 4 fence might be clawing this one, but it's going to be in the same fashion. It could be another Golden Cap, much to Sodium's displeasure. His schedule is he's really trying to keep it on track. But MANDEM, I don't know, Process mids, it's not a pretty sight, if I'm honest.
Nicky, just in case we don't see you again and the MANDEM end up cleaning this up quite tidy, we are going to be ending on Metalworks. Like, if I could quickly borrow your brain for a moment, what do you think is going to happen on Metalworks if 4 fence do win this Process?
Well, I mean, I definitely know MANDEM won against FF yesterday on Metal. I think I'd probably give like slight edge to FF on Metalworks if they can make it, just because their mids seem really strong on Metal. their soldiers they seem to have a really clear like vision of what they want to do on those mids. Yeah, so I'd probably give slight edge to FF there, but obviously they've got to win process, and I think that's going to be a pretty tall order for them right now.
All right, Condawg. Obviously, it's Team Fortress 2, yada yada yada. Solar Fortress 2, yada yada. Just tell me your favorite player. Who do you think is going to be like popping off in this game?
My favorite player.
Yeah, your
I get
favorite
to
player.
tell
Yes,
people?
you let loose. I'll stand back.
My favorite player, the best soldier in Europe at the moment, is Rons. He is doing bits. I was in their room just now. Rons, Boulder, June. They're all just on the same page. Rons is in doing damage, and Boulder, he's a listener. He's just following Rons. He's finding those frags. I bet you wish Smile would do that, but he doesn't, But Boulder and Rons, they're all about it. And that's why I think Rons is just the best. He's just the GOAT. The GOAT of all time. GOAT of all time?
Nicky, I'm fascinated to know who you think out of these two teams impress you the most, because obviously you come from a scout background and a soldier background as well. There's a lot of things that could tickle your fancy here, apart from fancy.
I mean,
he's not playing.
On either team, just anyone.
Yeah. Just who do you think is going to?
I mean, I'll be a contrarian. I'll go for someone on the other team. I think Brugesman is really key. I mean, just the way he can. He's like really opportunistic in stalemates. He can just like we saw, he like bombed through main and just got onto the med and got the force. I think he'll be a really key player if they want to win this game. So I'm definitely looking to see what he can do. And I think obviously he's a beast. So yeah, I'm going for Brugesman.
All right, and one last question for you. If you had to predict a scoreline for this game, I know you said it's going to be close, but if you had to predict, make yourself look smart in the stream in about 30 minutes' time, what scoreline would you pick, Nicky?
I think it's definitely going to be close. I mean, I don't see it's not going to be like a 5-0, that's for sure. So I'll say probably 2-1, because both teams seem pretty. They don't want to necessarily full commit and just be reckless. So I think it's going to be a little bit slow. So I think 2-1 probably. 2-1 to MANDEM.
That's a good, educated answer. I'm not used to these on the couch here, Condawg, but maybe you can tell me now, what do you think is going to be the scoreline for this? And
Turbo.
if you're going to hit me with a 5-0 right now for MANDEM, I'm going to be
It's not going to be a
displeased.
5-0. It's going to be a 4-0 Turbo. MANDEM, they're going to be bringing it home. Rons leading the troops from the top. Boulder, he'll be cleaning up. He's going to have 4 DOMs like he did in that last game. MANDEM to win. Turbo taps.
Throw it to casters. Just throw it to casters. End me.
MANDEM, 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 MANDEM.
I wonder who Condawg's favorite player is. I think he loves Yilin, actually. I genuinely think that's a very, very good choice. Anyway, process, huh? It's going to be quite the process to get through. Haha. Yeah, no, I think we're running a little behind schedule today, I think.
We can be honest within ourselves, and whether or not to us is up to them, but there is just no way that we're ready.
This is not a 2-mapper.
This is just a 3-mapper,
This
guys.
is a 3-mapper, bro. This is
Golden mid.
probably.
French victory. Map 3.
Yep. And then Frenchies probably
And then
win
the
that,
people win.
and they're completely shot and exhausted, and yeah. So, process teams are getting ready to go. Rearing, probably
my
because
name.
they're being held
my
at
name.
gunpoint. They're. What are you pointing at?
That's my name. It's gone now.
Oh, you figured it out. Okay. Yeah, they're the teams are being held at gunpoint at this point to start. I don't think they're even. They probably don't want to play anymore, but they're forced. We're keeping them locked in to their booths. I'm pretty sure somebody's going to get the key and actually lock those doors physically, so they can't leave between maps anymore, because I think everybody in production will want to kill them if they do.
I think, okay, here's the thing about this map. I kind of agree with the analysis on the point that for MANDEM, it really comes down to whether or not they can shut down Delhi. He was having such a good performance early on this map versus Yak and the rest of Venom Crest, and they really need to be able to shut him down. And then I feel like if you kind of manage to neuter him a little bit, it makes it the world, or the job rather, for QB and Evo so much harder to play, right?
Yeah.
They really thrive off of that demo damage. And we really need to see them come in super, super big, because I think that might be a little bit of the deciding difference. But also above that, right? It was Demul that took Frenchies to the Golden Cap in the first place.
Yeah.
But I think just in general, I think Haunts and Ron's kind of outplayed the French soldiers a little bit.
On for the most part of Gullywash, that was a quite significant soldier difference, I think. As much as people will hype up Rougeman, and he is really, really good, but I don't know, we haven't really seen it at that level yet out of him at this LAN, right? I don't know, he hasn't quite shown up to that level that we know him from, online at least, yet. I think it's going to take a little bit more to really convince me that he is actually able to do this offline as well. But I hear a countdown in my ears, and I am enthused to know that it means the teams are ready to go, saying GLHF, they're in this for the fun, and it's map 2 of our lower bracket final between Forfans and MANDEM. The latter taking the first map, and the first mid for the second map underway as we speak.
So early damage there on to Zams, but he's just going to eat a pack and keep on spamming across health bars early in favor of Forfans, as that is a very aggressive Brugman who gets munched by a boulder there up on top. He plays the high ground so well. Now Couchbomb coming out from Ron's is going to do a lot of damage. This is actually Zams getting picked off now. Only 3 players alive for the side of Forfans, and that means it's Mula on his own. And he's going to run out of PC. He has a scout chasing him. This is scary, Sonny.
Yeah, he's not getting the arrows at the right time.
Oh, no, he bumps his head. Oh, 1 HP. No! Just barely there. Brugman finds the really nice first rocket direct, but unfortunately does not find the second one in, so finds the singular point of damage that he needs. And this now, for MANDEM, is opportunity to take a 1-0 lead again. Early.
Very, very quickly here. Full Uber in store. Effectively a wipe for Forfans on the mid. Very late death out of Mula as well. So that Uber will not ever come into the equation, no matter how slowly MANDEM wants to move here. And Forfans are setting up an absolute bunker of a hold. Heavy up top. Sentry in play as well. They have to get this hold down to a T. And as the Uber comes in, that Sentry gets taken down immediately. The other side is being spammed. So much damage on the demo. Just spammed out. QB so low on that heavy as well for a while. A lot of aggression, but the Uber has faded. There's a bit of point pressure coming through, but there goes Walder, there goes Rons as well. Zam's not very healthy anymore to try and fight this with, and it has actually been a hold for Forfans.
They're pushing this out here in through lower. They are not fearing the same way they did versus Witness. Ooh. Really nice rocket there from Brugman. Shots down a very dangerous bomb in from Haunts. Mula now 90%, and the Frenchies are going to be looking to roll this forward with a soldier pick to work with as well. It is less aggression from MANDEM's side, but Boulder's up on the sniper, does not find the shot. Instead, it is Runs aggressive and onto Delhi. And now with the demo man down, I wonder how much the Frenchies can keep rolling this Uber advantage that they do have, but no demo.
It's dwindling very, very quickly as well. I think even if they had Delhi, they would have had to move so quickly, because June is going to have now. It will not matter as much anymore, and it's going to slow down to a little bit more of a normal second push here. Cool the situation, a little bit of a tiny stalemate as Moore is trying to make the move to bust that, but not enough damage, not enough follow-up onto June either. It's going to be just a little bomb to see what sticks, as maybe a bit of a counter-aggression coming out of MANDEM as they feel an opportunity.
It's one pick that they can send something in, right? You can see them just kind of exploring the space, whether or not a sack is worthwhile, but those scouts, lots of pressure there on to Boulder, who falls down quite low, has to regroup. The rest of his team now just building up, and once again, are the Frenchies. They're going to keep prodding, poking, trying to find some kind of an angle here. Once again, I feel like we might ultimately just end up with another single soldier sack. Spectrum could support it with some kind of fake bomb in through choke. You can see them now getting ready to walking in through Susan. I think we're opening the door for another soldier coming in a second. Maybe Demul just in IT spamming across, and maybe it's a French pressure cook more than anything else. Lots of damage coming across onto the enemy side, but it is Demul traded first thing first. But now Ron's taken down as well. This is Nevo and QB coming forwards like wrecking balls and forcing off that Uber onto June. However, there's no medic here with Nevo. This is really scary. So miscommunication from the French side as Nevo somehow finds that kill onto Haunts, does not come forwards for any more. You cannot just imagine if his team was there with him, by the way.
He just turns around 180 immediately in Haunts' face, and now Forfans have that Uber in store. Delhi managed to get out of there with Mula. Inzo wants to have a word with this as well. This sniper play could be crucial in making sure that that Uber is not going to become an issue. Doesn't quite get the shot off onto the demo. Is going to be spammed out as well, and forfeits are going to be slowly moving forward to get this second under control. They won't have to use, and MANDEM have wasted just enough time to get themselves their own Uber back. But they'll have to hold this last as well. Forfeits were here just a few minutes ago. Now MANDEM have to do it, and they're in a much better position to do so.
It's Demul sitting in to roll out there, just trying to scout out what's happening. Brudgman tries to go for some kind of a sack as well, but he pulls that off now. Even Ubers, but on the opposite last here, we started the round, Nevo just sends it straight in. Doesn't really find much of anything, but you just have to assume that this guy is going to come up with some kind of off-classer here.
It's a prime opportunity to do it. Not much to lose, just sending your scout in like that, seeing what you can get away with, and you know he's rearing for maybe that sniper play or something of the sort. Maybe he's just going to stay on scout. Maybe they're just seeing, okay, keep the door open for somebody else. Maybe they're thinking that QB is going to be the more
boLDR has stayed
sniper
on spy this entire time, by the way. So he is going to spot out that there is a sniper up on QB and instantly comes up on the counter sniper. We're talking about this on the desk between the games as well. When you're sniping in through process last, it is so hard to actually get that pick right, because you just have to contend with so many bad angles and another sniper ready to snipe you if you ever actually peek anything. And I think this counter sniper is actually super, super scary here if you're forfeits. It also means you cannot peek anything anymore.
And while boLDR isn't like a star player sniper, he is super, super consistent on that sniper class. He doesn't hit every crazy crack shot, but he always has the crosshair in the right place and always wins these sniper duels when they count. So it's a scary one to go up against. QB going for the deep peek into one here. Oh, he sees the beam, but the medic is nowhere near to be found. Maybe the engineer shot would be good, but no, can't quite line that one up. Rons has his number. Got that one taken care of. Now boLDR gets a bit of free reign to snipe into lobby if he so desires, but forfeits, not going to risk that, not going to do anything more than that, and just go for the reset here. Maybe QB will stick through to the sniper, maybe he'll switch off again and they'll try something else, but looks like he's going to remain for now.
Just stays up on the sniper. boLDR on the spy as well will spot out that there's a... Do you see that? He was disguised as a soldier. He's checking soldier unlocks. Trying to spot a man-treads before anything comes out, right? Maybe a parachute? I don't know. I know Jordy likes the parachute, but it's just QB on the scout, on the sniper rather, for now. We will spot that out as well, meaning that boLDR remains on the counter sniper also. Sentry gun so far uncontested. He's just going to turn around and instantly loses the sniper duel. Now, counter aggression coming forward. Just the kill onto Nevo. And suddenly now, forfeits managing to find a kill of their own onto Haunt. And I think that should be stabilizing. But it's opening the door a little bit for boLDR to get slightly aggressive. He's just going to instantly run back and peek. They've already sacked their soldier player. But that is Zams. Almost caught out. Manages to live.
Doesn't get caught quite enough. Not enough damage with a Soul Soldier. And boLDR, you know he's checking again. This time around, no cheeky shenanigans, no snipers, nothing like that. Maybe forfeits are realizing, okay, let's try something else. Maybe we'll just go for a trade, or we'll see if we can send somebody in on the far side through 5. See what can work. boLDR still sticking on the sniper. He's closest one anyway. Double Soldier Bomb is going to be the approach of choice here. And both of the soldiers don't get anything done. Lots of damage to Zams, but the Sentry has their number. Unfortunately, an accurate aimbot is probably going to make that a little bit harder. And it's just a double soldier second to last. There's no way MANDEM seem to be interested in pushing out for that though. And at this point, with the timer slowly ticking down as well, I think we might be looking at a round reset coming up in the near future.
boLDR's just up on the spy again, just checking, making sure no one does anything weird. Back and forth, oscillating between the sniper and the spy there. As you say, it's a minute and a half left on the clock. Still time to make something work, but it is becoming more and more one shot at making something work. And if you want to push to come in as well, meaning you probably have to start making a Hail Mary soldier sack right around now. So far, those French soldier double sacks have not worked in your favor so hard to get that gunshot down, and that is boLDR finding a clean kill onto Brudgman. And what do the Frenchies do now? They have to back out of lobby without that soldier. That counts as your sack. There's 50 seconds left.
That's another 15 seconds off the clock as well, as you wait for Brudgman to come back up to have another chance of pushing it. They're just actually going to send it in right away. Try to get this Uber going somehow. The Sentry takes a while to be taken care of, and now the Uber is already fading for forfeits before they get any sort of positioning or a counter force out of the side of MANDEM. It is about as bad as it can be. The only way would be worse if you lose your whole team now in the post fight, but obviously MANDEM aren't going to be chasing out whatsoever. They're content, bunkered up on last, and it's going to be a Hail Mary dry push coming out of Forfence if they want to have any chance of converting this round as they try to maybe get anything going. Sentry down again. Heavy's still in play though, and he is a little low as well for Forfence. They get the Uber out eventually, but they have to get on that point very, very soon, and they don't have the players to go around for it.
Yeah, there's just no health bars on them either. Now 8 seconds left. They are stuck on enemy second. You can see them now just trying to send it forward. It is Grudgeman in with the skip jump. It just barely gets a bit of cap time, but I think that should be curtains for round number 1. 10 minutes, no one wins. As we just go right back to middle. Forfence try 5 minutes straight, and they cannot crack that last hold.
It's a tough one. I mean, it's a tough one, especially when both teams are being so careful, right? Forfence never committing too much to those last push attempts, to those sack plays. At some point, they probably could have gotten away with more, considering MANDEM were never going to push out, but still, never giving away too much, wanting to take it as carefully as possible. Now the next mid-fight, they'll eat some early damage and lots of aggression as well. Base Soldier not quite hitting the pipe for that one, will live. But still, lots of early damage there onto the French Soldiers. Going to make things a little bit tougher for Forfence as they try to reacquire some positions, rotating around, teams just peeking and prodding, getting a bit of damage in wherever they can, but no frags falling either way just yet. And they're very much bunched up in this area here. They find QB eventually. They get the mole down as well, and the frags falling in their favor. Really going down. Oh! Does live just about, but not for long, as the team is wiped and MANDEM are in a prime position to finally get around on the board.
This time around, they managed to get that kill onto Mula once again. But that mid-fight, it starts off looking so good for Forfence. They had all of MANDEM super low in towards their enemy or in towards their own sewer, but now instead, sitting up on their last, they are getting spawn camped. Nevo with a nice little headshot there, but he's going to have to hit a few more because this Uber is now coming out of June and they are using it to actually kill no one whatsoever. As they are getting the second capture, but they're kind of out.
Yeah,
the Frenchies, they're fine.
Yeah, they're actually pretty fine here. I think they actually have a pretty good opportunity here. That's an ambitious Uber, perhaps even a force out of June. She did get quite a little low there, maybe a bit scared that she's going to drop her team, and with the respawns from Forfence coming in. So Forfence will have a chance to stabilize. They'll have a chance to actually hold this because MANDEM just took too long to get the caps on the other points going and to really shut out Forfence. Biting off more than they could chew, and it's going to bite them in this case as they have to sit back on second for a while, wait for these Ubers to come back into play, and we'll see how they go from there as Forfence build up their bunker hold once more. It was very good last time, and they were at a massive disad for that one. This time around, they're equal, and they'll have to see how much this will change the script as MANDEM are now in a position to try and bust this hold. It's much more equal. Hans tries to get in deep from the right side. Unfortunately, he just gets juggled by the sentry, gunned down by the heavy, absolutely destroyed on that one, and nothing for you to do but respawn.
It's now Forfence's chance to do exactly what MANDEM did to them. Just counter every single sack attempt coming in from MANDEM. As Forfence threw everything in the kitchen sink at MANDEM's last hold, could not crack it. This time around, Inso fancies himself a bit of offensive sniping. Nevo will spot that out immediately in spawn as well. And I wonder, yep, there we are. Counter sniper up. Boulder did an excellent job in this role. Nevo going to have to deliver something similar as Inso now looking to peek in through lobby. He's going to spot out the soldier, does not find the frag.
Early shot lined up, doesn't get that hit though, and it's going to have to find a different angle to work with. One very deep peek that you have to do for this one to find anything, and as soon as the soldier is close, you're pretty cooked already. Sniper's there as well. He loses that duel, but he doesn't lose his life just yet. Nevo's got his number for now, but they're still in play on both sides, and MANDEM, you know they're going to rotate that sniper around again. He's on the other side again here now. Seeing if he can get something deep into this right-hand side, at least from his position, but nobody's peeking. Forfence are being careful. They know that sniper's going to be peeking any door anytime soon, and yeah, there you go. They got him knocked down. That sniper's out of the equation. Now, if you want, maybe perhaps Nevo get a bit of aggression going, but he's probably more content being the much more defensive, passive sniper here, waiting for enemies to run into his sight lines instead of doing anything else. As Hans bombs in, it's a little bit of aggression there, but no rockets onto Mula before getting shut down. And it's just another reset.
I just wonder, right? Like you send in that play, but I don't know. Like I feel it feels weirdly like half-hearted. You know what I mean? Like we're going for these sniper plays, and like, what are you realistically going to find, right? You just kind of have to keep rolling the dice, but the sniper on its own just doesn't do much. You have to play around the pressure that it generates. The sack's just not coming in. It's Ron's getting caught here in lobby, trying to go in through 3, maybe find some kind of angle, but that's just going to mean that the rest of MANDEM, they're going to have to hold back now. Forfeits have successfully held on for 3 minutes. It's only a minute more and a half.
And at this point, they're probably in the same situation MANDEM was in last round. There's little reason for them to push out unless it's a clear-cut victory they can get over MANDEM in that fight. So they're just going to be perfectly content sitting on last. Enzo peeking beautiful rollout, doesn't line up the shot again, can't quite hit it. Now he's going to get flinched by the soldier as well, so he's going to have an even harder time really getting these shots lined up. Matter of fact, he's almost dead, just barely, narrowly living through the spam. And I don't know, man, I don't know.
Gun taken down though by Rons. Manages to spam him out, and that means the aggression can come forward straight in onto Mula, who ends up dropping it. The scout from Boulder with the final little ticks of damage. They sacked in 3 though, and that means that MANDEM have to wait for their spawners. The Mool's in a hiding position as well. They are not pushing out at all. Only 3 up here for MANDEM. They're going to get all of their spawners. Both soldiers up now. Inso will be up in 4. This is MANDEM's chance. They have the Uber advantage. 50 seconds left. Once more, it is a one shot for this. Before Forfence, their last hold, it was good enough. They managed to hold on. They're going to have to do it again.
And this bunker has worked well. They're already bunkered up again. The sentries in play, the heavies as well. It's very far aggressive forward, so sentry will die early as the Uber comes in. Spawn door shut out on the right side. A bit of cap time as well. The heavy's gonna drop down sooner rather than later, though. They have to deal with that as well. And the player health is not looking all that great for MANDEM. Spread thin on the heals, but there's so much cap time. Zams is just locking it down as well, and they eventually play the point, get that cap time, and there you go. MANDEM with a first round on the board after more than half of the map time. A grueling first round, bullied out eventually, but it took a lot to get there.
And it really, like, honestly, as weird as it feels to say, it starts with the sentry gun kill. The moment that one goes down, it just opens the door for the actual aggression from the soldiers in onto Mula to come in. Boulder with, like, one of the biggest 3 damage shots he's ever going to hit. Getting that kill across the map. And now, back in onto middle. It is early pressure onto Deli once again. Already down to 80 HP. Needs to wait for a bow. Frenchies, unsuccessful on these mid-fights so far. Need to come out on top.
They need to find a response to it. Han's going down early. Maybe what they need, just a bit of a player advantage. There's a scout pick as well with Boulder going down, and Zam's so low means he's not going to be aggressing anytime soon. Matter of fact, he might not even escape. Rougewood is in behind, and he's here to cut players off. Deli's doing the same. There goes the demo, taken care of.
They can keep rolling this.
Nice behind, but they can just cut more people off. There goes Rons, and the spawn door is not going to be having anybody leave for a while. They have to rotate to the other side outside of MANDEM, and this last pressure is going to be palpable for Forfence. Continue onwards. That second is being capped off as well, and they're just going to continue this. Both Ubers in play, and this last fight is going to be going on for quite a while before those are ever even popped off.
But there's no setup. There's no setup here for MANDEM. It is the move so far forward. In onto Spawn. Doesn't get that kill onto June. Means that now the pressure, mostly for Forfence, is gone. It's a lot of damage dealt, but they're managing to just barely hold on. The heavy does his job. Forfence forced to back off for now. Last time we were in this situation, they could not break this hold.
They were struggling for a very, very long time. Now that they've given MANDEM a bit of a chance to actually set up as well, it's not going to get any easier, and this is where Forfence have to figure it out. The war room has to conclude what the best course of action is. Maybe it's just Nevo running it through one. Maybe if it's just the entire team being a little bit more aggressive on this left side, seeing what they can get away with. The sentry is down. There might be a chance for the soldiers to work their magic now. There goes Hans. That opens up some things as well. And I think the Mole and Brugman are really, really interested in making something happen here. Rons is going to cut off the former though, and the latter is probably not going to follow up anytime soon. It's just QB in, and the rest of the team slowly following suit.
They go forwards. They're going to kill this heavy.
They're doing so much damage, no matter of
They're
fact.
so low! Telly, so much damage, but team not quite following up. Means the QB still in on behind, being a pest, but they don't kill the heavy. They got the kill onto that Demo Man, which does open the aggression a little bit, but this is a bit disjointed here. From the Frenchies, one by one, hero plays coming in, and now finally Nevo gets a trace. Forces the flash onto the heavy as well, but where are his teammates? They are nowhere near. His heavy's also not leaving the same side he is, and that means this aggression, they were afforded some kind of advantageous position, but honestly, I feel like Forfence did not play that as well as they could, but they have discovered that the best way to not lose a last push is just to never stop the last push. Sentry Gun down already. Once again, this Heavy is doing so much heavy lifting, trying to keep his team in the round, but the French collapse is coming in. Demoul with the nuke on the enemy, and that means that poLAND are gonna tie us up.
I know for a fact the Americans in chat are going to love the fact that poLAND never stopped pushing, because that's how they play across the pond. That's how they play over there. The W key is taped down, and poLAND get a round because of it. That's just a nuke again. Demoul showing he still has the exact right timing for his bombs. And now 1-0, 10 minutes left on the clock. Anybody's game. Process could go either way. poLAND back in the race, back in the saddle. And it's going to be interesting to see how this next mid-fight goes, because they were looking pretty solid last time around. We'll see if they can find a response to this MANDEM aggression. Once more runs. Big bomb early on, gets the high ground. Bushman trade down, but he just kills himself anyway, so it doesn't matter. But eventually, the collapse comes down onto the combo for poLAND. That's 2 more players down, and they have to back off.
They really need to find some kind of solution to these mid-fights. They're down every single time now. With only 3 players left up on seconds, means that MANDEM are fancying themselves a bit of a push in, coming forwards already is the rest of MANDEM. Now Soldier Sack comes in, and that is a dead deli now. You have to be so careful. If you are the Frenchies, keep your players alive, because you do not have control of seconds. Zams,
That roller!
where did that come from?
He sent it over the top entrance lobby, and the roller actually
They can
caught
keep
Nemo.
pressuring this, by the way. They can do exactly what poLAND did to them, as they're just in onto last. Boulder now uncontested. Bombs in, gets the pop out of Mula. June is just holding onto this. 2 soldiers and a pop. MANDEM are looking. The pace of this map has exploded.
They are dictating it as well with that force. Again, a beautiful opportunity to get themselves into this last point. They have all the time in the world to work with now. They can get themselves ready, everybody buffed up, everybody into position. Gives poLAND a bit of time as well to set up their hold. They do these bunkers really, really well, but they have to make it happen this time again. And, well, you can only do it so many times, you know? poLAND have to hold this last forever and ever. MANDEM only have to make the push work once. They only have to win 1 time, and then they're up around again. So we'll see how this works once again. Beautiful early damage onto the sentry, taken down immediately. There goes Deli as well. That's a crucial pick for this last push. Even though Ron's goes on the other side, June also very low, means the heals are going to be out of the equation for a little bit. But the players are there for MANDEM. It's only a couple of players left for poLAND to even try and block the point with, and none of them can get close anytime soon. That's a quick round for MANDEM to clap back with. They take the lead once more, and poLAND are in the hot seat.
Textbook last push there from MANDEM as well. Zams plays it to perfection. Comes in, gets exactly what he needs. Instant kill onto the gun. Follows it up. Instant kill onto Deli. No chance at all to have any kind of impact. And that means before the push has even really started, they're already down 2 very, very important pieces of that last hold. Now, once again, all eyes are on poLAND. They have not won a single mid-fight on this map, and MANDEM looking so strong. 8 minutes to go here, and poLAND need an answer on these mid-fights.
Need to figure something out, really make these stick as Demoul gets across. Nice damage here, gets Boulder down as well. But look at the health on poLAND, they're all nuked! They're all dead! Nobody can actually survive that much damage coming across. Even if you get the star player Boulder down, it doesn't matter. Your team is wiped. And now MANDEM, again, in a beautiful position to get yet another round on the board, making poLAND sweat even more. Now, they were in the same situation on Gullywash with about the same amount of time remaining as well. Unless MANDEM runs down the clock here, poLAND have a chance to clap back, but they really have to get in gear, and it's gonna have to start with some incredible last holds once more before going coast to coast or winning more rounds. It's really tough for them. It's looking really bad.
We didn't see it directly in the POV, but it looks like Zams went absolutely nuts on that middle. His name was in every single one of those assists coming in on last. This time around, Sentry Gun falls already. There is no contest at all. This time around, though, Deadly Stickies do find 1 kill onto Inso here, and that's going to delay MANDEM from coming in at all. It's another kill on to Rons as well. Demoul just gets bowed up, and I think they've managed to hold this off for now. Nevo getting aggressive. This is a very low Zams, and you can feel him having to back off. poLAND breathing a little bit of life here, but you're saying it yourself, right? They have to respond. It's 6.5 minutes, and you're stuck on your own side. You need to find the advantage. You have an Uber to work with, but you need to get it through PC here.
You need to keep going. You cannot cannot afford to falter. You need to just keep this momentum up, but this Uber is not finding anything at all. It's merely a zoning Uber. Get yourself that mid under control and then ready yourself for the MANDEM response, because there's a chance at least that they would want to use that big ad they've just been gifted to their, well, advantage as they try to move forward perhaps. And Forfence, well, they're not in a position to really push. They're not in a position to make anything happen right now. They have a little bit of time, but they don't have a lot. And Rons is already leading the charge a little bit, seeing what rounds he can get. The rest of the team in IT as well. Rons will pay with his life though, and that might slow MANDEM down. Never mind, they find Demul on the other side, but QB cleans up 1-2. The Uber is out of MANDEM as well, and they found absolutely nothing. Matter of fact, Samus gets caught.
This is absolute disaster for MANDEM here. QB is on a tear. Tries to win the 1v1 with Boulder, but he has a teammate to follow up. Boulder does a lot of damage, and I think might have stalled just enough for June to just about escape. But she has no Uber and no teammates on the point. Forfence are responding. It's 5 minutes left.
And I know
MANDEM put their foot in the door, and Forfence kick it right out.
And I know our admins are tearing their hairs out right now. I know they're having a nightmarish scenario play out in their head.
I know we could do a picture-in-picture. Please show Sodium and Dr. Happiness in the
Yeah, can somebody like on our production just like look at the couch right now? They are absolutely losing their minds.
Losing their minds.
If this goes to another Golden Cap, it certainly is one of the matches of all time, but right now, it's still anybody's game in regulation time, and I know people are praying for that to come to a fruition as Forfence, again, on this fight. Early aggression there.
Hey.
They don't find the frags, all right? It's going to be Bushman going down first. Zams, lots of aggression onto him, though, and he will probably die eventually as Cubic cleans up that frag. No soldiers, though, for the side of
They can come back in.
Forfence.
There's no demo man up. Never mind. No, MANDEM. Look at the
numbers.
It's fine. Yeah. 4 is greater than 3. My bad. Did you know I study math?
Really?
Yeah.
Couldn't tell.
Nah.
Couldn't possibly tell.
You know, normally when you tell people you study math, they look at you like you told them you don't study.
I mean, you are.
Yeah.
You
All
are,
right,
though.
anyway, there's a soldier bombing in, trying to get in on Tabula there, and does not find anything. Even Ubers. 4 minutes to go. I won. Sonny. Are we here forever?
Yeah, we might be here for a little bit longer. We'll
Do you
have
believe
to
in
see.
love, Sonny?
I absolutely do. I think love can blossom on the battlefield. We'll see.
Do you think?
Soldiers
Do
kissing
you think
in
these guys
choke.
love each other?
No, soldiers are going to be kissing in choke as they try to jump through both sides. It's going to happen. I am calling it right now. Rons is going to try to get that speed shot through. Bruchman's going to do it from the other side. They're going to meet in mid-air. It's going to be the most beautiful thing you've ever seen in your life.
They ash each other and they go by like that. Melee single clip.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing, Sonny. No one's doing anything.
Yeah, no, they're
They're
both
sitting
so
back.
scared.
There's one sniper
They're so
up.
scared.
Inso is going to try to go for a shot. He's going, oh, this is one of my favorite spots. You climb on that rock and you have such a really nice angle there. Look at how far back Forfence are playing. That angle does nothing if people are sitting all the way back onto point. But this point, however, if you're holding like this, very bombable.
And there you are, Inzo rotating into sewer instead. That shutter, you know it's going to open up sooner or later. He's going to have that shot lined up exactly where he expected it to be. And that's a nice shot onto Delhi, but not quite the headshot he needed to really bust things open here. And he can't get any follow-ups to stick just yet either. So that sniper play is stunted for now. It's not getting the things done it needs to. And MANDEM being careful. They really want the sniper play to stick. They really need it to stick if they want to have a chance here. Time is running low, and I don't think the teams necessarily fancy themselves another Golden Cap as well. It's going to get so grueling and exhausting to go through that again.
It's still 2.5 minutes, right? But at the moment, all of the MANDEM baskets are just on this sniper from Inso, who finds the opening kill. But what can you do? It's another kill now, actually onto Demul. QB falling as well. Frenchies are crumbling. Forced back onto that last, and now MANDEM, they have themselves a bit of an opportunity here. It is 6 seconds until these two players come up. There are no soldiers, but Zams is in so far and needs to get that Uber popped in from June. As the Uber fades, neither team really at an advantageous position. Instead, it is Zams in. He's an early meat shot here. MANDEM trying to stream in on the two last there and break this. Do not send us to overtime. It is Horns going in, but we are trading across the demo. Falls. It is just Boulder left alive with June and a useless... That's a bit mean, but a useless sniper in onto Inso.
I mean, you get a nice angle lined up here. Forfeits are being a little bit too eager and don't respect it too much. He knows where the beam is. So That could have been scary. Mula just careful enough to not cross into it. They're going to retake second, buy themselves some more time. 90 seconds left. Forfence reasonably cannot win anymore, but they can at least not lose just yet, and it's on MANDEM to figure out how they can do this before the Golden Cap timer starts. So they have to figure this out again. They still have that Inzo sniper. They're still banking on him getting a crucial shot onto somebody, but maybe they don't need to. Nevo just goes down to spam, and that opens things up for MANDEM to get this second back under their control. And obviously Forfence are going to be trying to set up on last as best they can as well. Nevo's going to be out of the equation for a while, and MANDEM is going to be sending this in as quickly as they can.
They have one pick to work with here. There's no time for a sentry gun, but Deli is so quick with those stickies. Now Boulder sends it in as well, ends up falling. One soldier has to go forward and does not find the kill. No damage at all dealt to Mula. This is 3-man sacking, and that means that the Forfence are gonna go forwards. It is one sniper in choke, but what can he do when the entire enemy team is in on his demo, who does fall super late? This is 30 seconds. At this point, you just keep running because you keep finding kills onto MANDEM, and they have to stop bleeding these players one by one. 20 seconds is not a lot of time, and you can see the Frenchies are kind of recognizing this, sending it in through IT, but okay, Sonny. I also feel like we low-key need to be able to no-clip to be able to keep this in regulation.
Yeah, I don't think they, unless they violate the laws of physics, I don't think they're going to be able to actually win this in regulation time anymore. 8 seconds left on the clock. You know damn well it's going to be going to another Golden Cap. These teams are unfathomably closely matched, just like yesterday. And they're going to be going to a Golden Cap on process once more, trying to figure out just who can actually win it in the end. And you know that the Frenchies are really hoping that it's them.
They would need to win this Golden Cap if they want to go to a map number 3. That's a groundbreaking analysis that us casters can bring you. As I look desperately behind me, discovered that there is no desk.
No, not between Golden Caps. They let us leave us to dry.
So,
they want us to die out
we
here.
just have to talk. Here's the thing, though, right? I feel like ultimately, if this is a Golden Cap, Golden Caps usually come down to who has the most successful mid. It is MANDEM leading those mid fights by a mile. This game, right?
Yes.
And that means that for me, we're going into this Golden Cap, Frenchies, it never really felt like they ever managed to truly figure out these mid-fights. They have a bit of time to talk about it now. And you need to come out with some kind of a plan to be able to deliver on those mid-fights, because if not, that's it. That's your tournament.
It's also kind of almost a bit uncharacteristic of them, right? Because they had those mids under lock against Venomcrest just earlier today. So I think MANDEM are just throwing them a few too many curveballs to really be able to adjust as quickly as they would like to, right? They're not finding the responses to the aggression. MANDEM are playing the mids really solidly, really closely knitted together, and even if it goes sour, I don't think, besides that one round where they wiped, I don't think I've seen June die on a mid. I think she's playing them super well, always out just in time, always alive, and it's really hard for Forfence to start snowballing off of those mids, right? Even if they win a mid, they can't, get any momentum going whatsoever. They're not going to start rolling down the hill or anything. They just really have to make it, to just dog it out. It's tough.
It all comes down to one mid at the end of the day, right? This is MANDEM's time to get into the final. I feel like they must be feeling like they are ready. Missing their star player of Fancy Elf. They've been reforming a little bit. We're seeing a new look for them. It's been paying off pretty well so far. They're sat second on the ETF2L tables. Looking to be second place here at LAN, but you have to defeat the reigning ETF2L champions to be able to make it all the way to the finals and face Witness. And Forfence are making them work for it.
Yeah.
As we are still discussing mid-fights on the French side. MANDEM readied up 5 minutes ago, guys. If you guys are mad, you are all allowed to @Demoul in chat and be angry at him. I don't know what you type. I don't want that on me. I don't want that on my conscience, whatever you type to Demoul. You could type to him. We're readying up. Sunny, look at that.
They're good to go. All right. This Golden Cap is going to go underway, and these teams are going to figure out just who comes out on top after this. MANDEM are hoping it's them, so they get a little chance to take a breather before the finals. Obviously, Forfence are in for the gauntlet if they take this instead, and this Golden Cap is going to be the most important mid-fight to hit it off for this process map for both of these teams. This is the one that truly matters at the end of the day. This is the one that may very well decide who takes it, and Forfence are being slow. Bruchman cuts off Ron's, trying to get in behind for IT. That's the opening frag here. Inzo also very low in chokes. Probably not quite get cleaned up, but still, that is enough to get MANDEM to force themselves back to second, get themselves out of there, try to keep it clean, try to keep it safe. A very conservative mid out of both teams, and it works out just slightly in favor of forFence, who are going to keep up the pressure onto the second immediately.
They are just going in through Al-Qaeda as well, but it is Damul taken down there in IT. Deli wants a lot of spam, but just gets taken down by the follow-up on from Rons. Now, forFence fighting themselves down 2 players here means that they might be finding themselves in a fight they don't want to take. Instead, now Nevo just leads this Uber forwards onto the solo, but they can hold it for so long. 1 kill onto Zams is going to have to do for now, as now MANDEM, they can re-peek in through Choke here, come forwards. This is Horns taking high ground as well, but the Frenchies, they have their respawners now coming in. It is a lot of damage up on top. QB falling alongside Horns. They are still in this fight. Both teams, neither one really backing out. But there's no Demo Man here for the side of Frenchies quite yet. Finally doing a bit of damage is Deli. QB up. Shams looking to rejoin the fight. We are back on middle. No one in a sizable advantage. However, Tune 100% Uber. And I think that might just be scaring off forFence for now.
The reinforcements come in eventually to give MANDEM that little bit of edge they really needed to get that fight under control, but it's by no means enough to keep a momentum going or anything like that. The Uber is going to be in play for forFence sooner rather than later. And if they don't move quickly enough or get onto Mula here, I'm sure they can work with that nice little rocket there. Minus 91 onto Baruchman, but it's not enough for a kill. And now they're going to have to be a bit more careful as well. Mula goes dangerous low for a bit there, but MANDEM, they got the second under control. They're going to try to get this into last as well. Both teams with an Uber now. Boulder does feed. And there's a soldier in last.
Oh my god.
Dangerously close there to the medic, but doesn't get the frag either. forFence maybe fancying themselves a chance to get out. Unfortunately, Zams has a word with it. That was very much predictable. You're not going to get out of that door, and now you definitely have to hold last.
It's 1 point cap remaining for forFence before they find themselves out of the tournament. Runs with another bomb in, just trying to make space here for his team. Get them a bit further in onto this last as he bombs forward, but does not find any damage on Amula whatsoever. As 2 players are traded down. Now, what do forFence do for this? It's 4.5 minutes on this clock, and they are not pushing. They are staying on last. They are banking this on just holding on.
I want this to be as solid of a hold as possible. If there's a chance they push out and don't just go for a round reset, they need this to be the best hold they have ever managed to cook up whatsoever. And the biggest mistake that MANDEM can commit. But MANDEM, perfectly content with going what they know. Inzo back on the sniper, going for the deep peek here on the left side. Doesn't quite get that shot lined up on the soldier. Now they know of him as well, so gotta rotate doors, see what else you can get away with. They find the sentry as the Mool gets taken down as well. That already opens things up a little bit for the side of MANDEM here. Nevo is gonna have to fight off that soldier as Rons bombs in. There's Hans with the pull up, and they get the force out of Mula without much to respond with onto the side of MANDEM. They're not gonna be able to get out of there in time and get anything done. They're just going to have to sit on last and wait for this MANDEM Uber to come their way.
I wonder if Inzo goes back into spawn here and comes up on the scout instead. Makes this push so much easier. He's going to do exactly that. Going to wait for his spawners, come back up on the scout. And this is now MANDEM looking golden ticket into the grand finals. Into a little bit of respite before they face off against the best team in Europe. As they lock in now. One opportunity. The Frenchies have held off multiple Uber advantage last pushes here. Mula, 60% as Zams comes in. Uber up already. Sentry gun down immediately now. Scout, Boulder, up until the point, gets a little bit of cap time, but it's decent damage here. Done by Deli as well. Now Soldier bumps forward, instantly taking him down is Damul. Now, Rons is only 90 HP. It is Damul getting shot down by a bow as well. Rons has the high ground here. This is a heavy, not doing that much. Rons with the hero shot. Does not connect because Mula is alive. Zams is up with his medic, but that is MANDEM. They flub another push, but this time, look, forFence. They're trying to take the second. Do MANDEM fight?
They kind of want to, but I don't think they're in the position to do so. At best, they can try to get an early force out. Ideally, Inzo just gets the shot of a lifetime onto something here, but he's not in a great position to get onto the medic. They have to make this work. forFence have to clean this up perfectly. Don't lose your Uber. Don't lose your positions. Baruchman going down pretty bad if you're trying to take this fight, but at worst case, you can still use the Uber to try and get
Jude
players.
doesn't have.
They go get Rons. Reven doesn't have. They don't have to worry about that, but they're not really finding much. They just clean up a couple of struggling players. Now June is going to have, and it's going to be quite the situation to try and get yourself into the second if you're forFence.
But you're down 2 soldiers, or you're down 2 players, right, if you're MANDEM. You're not going to push on this immediately. Baruchman down already means that they probably could have gone for something quite fast. but not quite yet. Instead, now they have a bit of time. All you want, more than anything else if you're forfeits, is just spam out this Uber as soon as possible. Do not let MANDEM take any space here on the mid. They're going to just send in a soldier forwards and a soldier bomb immediately in onto June. Pop comes out quite fast as well. Mula trying to get out in through IT. Zams does not find the pipe in onto Scout. Haunts does not find the kill onto Delhi, and forfeits hold on with a prayer. Uber charge advantage has swung right back in their favor, and they are right back in onto middle.
Bruchman walks into the sticky trap though. That's going to slow things down ever so slightly, and the point has flipped for MANDEM 2. Back in control of this middle point for the time being, so forfeits have to work for it. They will probably wait for their main call to come back for this push that they inevitably have to do, because at this point, there's no round resets in play. There's 3.5 minutes left before we go to one more mid-fight, and I don't think forfeits want to risk that, so they're just going to Uber straight into this middle to see what they can get with their Uber, and unfortunately for them, MANDEM knew what was coming. We're completely out of that very, very quickly. Now, once more, able to leapfrog right back at them.
It's coming in through choke once again here, as the soldier bomb is coming in quite fast, and that forces off the Uber out of June very, very early, and the soldiers can just run right back out. They're not finding any kills either here at MANDEM. It is a little bit of Zam's aggression coming forwards in through choke, but they're going to have to give this up. Inso in on to Brudgeman. It does find that opening kill. Now, what can he do? He cannot make any further magic happen, and that means that ultimately forfeits have stabilized this once again with 3 minutes left on this Golden Cap. Very, very low runs there as he tries to get a bit aggressive, but ultimately, Mula, slight advantage here, 30% only, and you're looking to use this Uber advantage to come in onto middle, on process middle.
It's a tough one.
Terrifying.
It's a tough one, especially in this situation, because one misstep in the post-fight of this Uber inevitably could cost you the whole LAN, the whole tournament. You're out if you mess this up on the side of forfeit, so they have to make this stick. Huge bump into the combo, but doesn't get any damage onto June whatsoever. Can't even clean up Boulder. Now the counter Uber comes out the side of MANDEM. They're going to try to chase this down as best they can. Lots of damage to Dumula, but not enough. The cleanup is there. Nevo managed to take down Boulder. They do lose Delhi, and they find another frag onto Dumul as well, but that's probably all MANDEM can settle for in this case.
Down. They need to push with this. There's only 2 minutes left, and now with the demo down for forfeits means that it's so much harder for them to contest this MANDEM aggression in through sewer now. Already Zam's a lot of damage, but that's a beautiful rocket there from Brudgeman to shut him down and delay. But look at this. One soldier in. Haunts really wants to catch Mula there before he can escape with Uber charge in hand. But minute 30 left now in this Golden Cap. And we are even Ubers on process last once more.
Forfeits are really, really comfortable here, and Haunts is committing to the Hail Mary spy play. If this is the one, then that's the one that takes them to the finals. Invis watch as well, so you know it'll be a fast one. I don't think they will necessarily have seen that he got flinched by that. They are gonna have to worry about the spy.
He's gotten in so far. Zematic hiding in spawn. He's going to have to go for the drop-down play here. So we're going to try to lure Mula out. He comes in, but has to settle for the engineer stab. And a sapper onto the gun means that it will fall. And now, what counter-aggression can MANDEM launch here? As they do come in, now Sentry Gun is down, meaning that was a bit of an angle to try and sack a bit further, but that's a very low inso. In onto one. And he does manage to end up escaping with his life. Once. Just on spy. He's going to try again.
They're not going to expect it a second time. They're not going to.
He has 40 seconds. This is a 30-second spy play.
Especially when it's successful. They're not going to expect it.
Oh my god! A shot to send down MANDEM! Another one onto Inso seals the deal. And now MANDEM clutching onto straws. Your tournament plan can be damned.
You're going to have to win another mid-fight, buddy, unless Han's going to have a word with it, but I don't think he's going to 1v6
he has one
the
shot.
Whole team.
10 seconds.
Spy. There's no time. There's absolutely no time for this play to work. Even if he gets the stab of a lifetime, it will not make a difference at this point. He's not going to get on that point in time. 4 seconds left. It's going to be a golden mid-fight. He just throws in the towel. And forfeits have to win a mid to keep themselves in this tournament. Or, well, lose it to give MANDEM a ticket to the grand final.
It's a game separated by, like, microns.
Yeah.
Normally we say millimeters, but I know big fancy words now, so I'm going to say micron. And you're going to think, wow, this guy's really smart. Wow. Okay, here's the thing. Now golden mid. It comes down to one mid fight. And these are really interesting because they are like unlike anything else that you play in TF2, right?
Yeah.
The second you cap the point, it's over.
Exactly. So you can just try to find some strategy to maybe force that point pressure a little bit earlier here, right? You don't just win by bullying out the enemy team. Much rather, the enemy team won't just let themselves get bullied out off of frags alone, right? It's all or nothing for this one mid fight. You have to make it count. And unfortunately, from what we've seen, they got a little bit better towards the tail end now of this map, but forFence have not looked as solid on these mid fights as MANDEM. So if
Last
MANDEM
mid
are going
fight,
to win,
right? They started off with that 1 kill into Haunts, and MANDEM immediately left.
yeah, but
This
they can't
time
do that
around,
this
they can't
time.
do that,
Yeah,
right?
they can't do that.
No. But MANDEM historically, right, it's just been the early aggression in onto Delhi, and Zam's just able to follow up on that spam. I think if we're ever going to see a crits in this game, it is going
Now,
to be now.
obviously.
We saw June kind of run it on map number 1, but this time around, like it feels like the most obvious crits play in the world. Most of the time, you will not have time to build up that uber charge, but a crits can come in at the end and seal that deal with one single shot.
Every medic you talk to as well will guarantee you that not running crits on a golden mid fight is a terrible, terrible idea. And yet it can work sometimes if you play your cards really right. But the stars have to align. It has to be a 1 in a million chance for it to really work well. So we're probably going to see crit scree coming out of both of these medics in this golden mid fight. And you know the heads of steam, and there's a lot of strategy cooking going on in that French room right now. There are many, many foreign words being thrown around that none of us would be able to understand, probably just developing insane crackpot strategies that nobody would ever be able to comprehend.
But it becomes a game within a game within a game,
Yeah.
right? Like, these guys have been on mid so many times, and you have to keep responding to what the enemy team is doing now in this kind of situation as well. You know people are going to be playing all in. But usually these mids tend now to start off quite passively. Both teams will sit back because they know you kind of only have a single shot, right? And so you sit back and you wait for a while. And usually that means you sit back and you spam and you wait for a crits and you go for a single crits play. Either onto a scout, onto a demo, depending on what you have available to you. But, yeah, we're still waiting, obviously, for forFence to ready up once again at Demul in the chat. He'll be very happy when he watches back the chat.
It's
And,
do or die for them. You can't necessarily blame them for really trying to figure this one out. But even if, and this is the very cruel thing about it, even if they win this, they still have another map to go through afterwards. And with how unfathomably close things have been so far, that would be just another grueling thing to go through, probably at least, if MANDEM continue putting up the fight. Both of these teams playing out of their minds, getting unbelievable plays going, and they're going to have to do it at least one more time for the mid-fight before they can really figure out what exactly they want. And
this feels like a dice roll, Sonny.
Yeah,
It feels like
no.
the ultimate dice roll, right? At this point. Like, both of these teams, okay, we're ragging on the forFence mids for a little bit, but at least sort of the last few mid fights have been successful for forFence. It's actually a bit on MANDEM to try and respond, find some kind of other angle here on these mid fights. So they are still discussing, guys. We're cooking something. If they cook bad, you guys are allowed to make fun of Frenchies for cooking.
I don't have terrible cuisine, though. I'd be very surprised. An interesting wrinkle here as well, that the entire French team is apparently AFK according to in-game chat. The entirety of the French team has gone out for a smoke. No, that's a lie. That's made up. But, you know, they are, they're trying to
I think
figure
they're
this one
just,
out.
at this point, they realize that we can see the chat, and they're just typing. They're typing at each other. They're very mean.
They love being mean to each other. That's kind of part of the game, though, right? I mean, the moves on the server, what do you expect? Anyway,
We're readying up.
they're readying up.
We're readying up. Sonny. Which?
One time.
You guys hear me, Base Stack? Hello? One crowd? Hello, please, guys, respond to me, please. This is when the crowd cheers. Woo!
They hate you. They absolutely hate. They despise you on them, and it doesn't matter
guys.
because at the end of the day, this mid-fight may very well take us into another map if forFence can win it. They are still in this, but if MANDEM take it, they are straight to the grand finals to take on Witness in just a little bit later. So we'll have to see, and that's a lot of cap time already. This is going to play differently. This isn't your normal map. This isn't your normal mid. You have to play this very differently, and both systems have been careful so far not to lose anybody early.
the Wolf
Demul will
falling.
be the first to fall, and the Uber slash the crits is much rather are ready for both medics
so?
soon as well. Does he
The crits is now ready for both teams, but this is a very weak 4 fence as the crits comes out for both sides. Neither finds anything. One sticky is in onto Deli, but he lives it. Now crits have been neutralized. No one has found anything as players will be rejoining the mid. Once again, it is soldiers bombing across here and a very low set of soldiers. QB finding horns in onto the flank, but Boulder is just onto the cap. It is June with the head coming in, getting that kill onto Demul now. It's counter aggression coming forward from the French side because June is so low and she's getting cleaned up. Now Frenchies ×6 on the point. It is just 2 scouts left. Make that 1 and 4 fence. We're going to map 3.
They're keeping themselves in it. They're going to take on map 3 and give themselves another shot and go into the finals. They're not out of this just yet. France has not surrendered. They're keeping this fight up. And I'm sure our desk wants to talk about it as soon as possible, as quickly as possible, as quickly as they can possibly do it, because they're keen with words and whatever else.
And I guess it goes to show how fast this game was going, Condawg. We just went straight, just like from point to tie to golden cap to golden mid. It was just electric and going at 1,000,000 miles per hour, and we can't keep up.
Turbo, me and you were running down the stairs to get back down here. My heart hasn't stopped beating. I mean, hearts in our mouths, it has to be said. The MANDEM, I was in the room and I thought they had it. I really thought they had it. You know, the crits was coming up on that golden mid.
They got the first frag as well. Usually the recipe for a good golden mid.
I thought it was going to be the difference. I really did. But yeah, the crits just wasn't good enough from Zams. He got a 180 sticky onto Deli. Deli just floats away. Then June gets a frag on a golden mid. I thought everything was going to change.
Zams was doing so much damage that golden mid as well. I watched his POV. He was throwing stickies. I was seeing 4 sets of damage numbers come up. I was like, this is in the bag for MANDEM.
Yeah, but in the end, Turbo, as I said, as I predicted, as was foretold, the Frenchies, they're taking it to a map 3.
Yeah, Process just seems to be some sort of sacred land. MANDEM try and barrel through the front door, and they go, no, not on Process.
Your French is not great, mate, not great.
Anyway, bonjour. As we are going to go to our 3rd map, that does mean that we are going to get that Metalworks. That Metalworks we talked about in detail with Mac and Piggles. It seems quite relevant now, Condawg.
Yeah, no, it's a great map for MANDEM.
Look, you get yourself in here. Yeah, I see you, boy. You were excited. You're a man on the ground.
How are you, Lucky, mate? You doing all right? What do you think of that game?
That was a bit bonkers, wasn't it? Yeah, tell me about it.
I was running between like French to obviously the MANDEM team, and then I was going down here, back up to the France, back up to MANDEM team. What went wrong in your opinion, Lucky? Did you catch anything during all the glimpses
basically the whole thing.
Stress?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, the bit in the Golden Cap, to be honest, the thing that might have caused the whole thing this whole series of events to occur might have genuinely been that headshot on last. Because, if they get a good Uber trade-off, and then they push into last, they manage to get another round in, it's good times. They don't go to Golden Mid. But the Frenchies, I don't know, Muller plays crits really well and plays positioning really well on those mid-fights. It feels like he doesn't struggle under pressure. I think Muller was the difference maker and the problem, the Golden Mid.
Condawg, the games are getting more serious by the second, and the gameplay is starting to slow down a little bit in the sense that teams are a lot more methodical. They're a lot more careful. A pick here or there could be life or death for their land run. So, is it just going to get worse now in this map 3?
I mean, the thing is, the MANDEM, they have a very cool, calm, and collected player. And he goes by the name of Inso, okay? He's on the far right in that room, and he's like, guys, he looks down the line. He's like, guys, let's play cool, play calm, play collected, okay? He's going to keep the MANDEM mentally there, mentally prepared for this 3rd map, don't you worry.
If that's Inso's t-shirt, what's Inso wearing?
He's just shirtless in there, Turbo. It's a great spectacle.
Okay, all right. Well, Lucky, talk to me a little bit about Metalworks. Obviously, you've had a preview of both of these teams. They've both taken their map picks, but, God, it came down to the wire for both of them. So now this Metalworks pick has been left in the water from all these bans. Nobody's claiming it. But who do you think should be the one to claim this map?
Whenever it comes to Metalworks, I'm always pro-boomers. I feel like MANDEM is a little bit zoomery comparatively. I think the Frenchies, personally, they're my pick. I like the Frenchies.
Yeah, they do strike me as a team that more likely to have Snapchat installed into their phones.
Exactly, yeah. But no, I feel like there might be some rattles from MANDEM coming into the next game. We don't know. They might come in cool, calm, collected, and chuck it at them. We don't know. But I personally put my money on the Frenchies just because I like them.
Look, Turbo, if there's one thing this map is not going to be, it's cool, calm, and collected, because these mids, it's all about the mids on Metalworks. And with these 4 soldiers, Brugesman, Rons, Haunts, Demul, it's going to be an utter bloodbath when they get to mid. Otherwise, they're just going to be dangling their demo men out.
Speaking of Metalworks and Brugesman and all this, how come we don't see that fast rollout anymore? You know, that one that just like darts straight onto a demo man, just literally kamikaze playing on. Is that just not the style anymore? Are the Zoomers bored of it already?
I think it might be coming out, honestly, Turbo. I mean, I don't want to make any hasty predictions, but they're in this sort of final map. They need to be protecting their demo men on mid. They don't want to be letting him die alone. We didn't see too much on Process there. Maybe a little bit hesitant to commit, maybe. But I think it's going to be fast-paced. I don't think it's going to slow down too much. The transitions from second to mid and mid to second on Metalworks are a little bit tougher. But
I do like that aspect of Metalworks. I think it's actually grown on me as a map. Yeah, I know. I'm shocked as much as you are. Like, I remember Metalworks came out, I was like, oh, it's new. Tour. Like, get rid of that. But
did you say Hawk Tour?
Thanks, man. Cheers. Okay, but yeah, basically, I like second. I like how it's got its own little sort of soldier bomb meta, where how they approach it, how the medics set themselves up. Are they, do you like to stay in the shutter, Condawg, or do you like to get out on top of the bridge and get actual heals into your team during those second holds?
Well, I mean, me and Vox used to have the age-old argument of whether you stay on the left or stay on the right, which lobby do you hold? So I think it's a little bit of flavour of the month, depending what the team sort of tend to do themselves. I think the MANDEM, they're going to be having June nice and safe in that back left shutter. They're not going to be exposing her to any danger at all.
What about you, Lucky? You strike me as a manly kind of medic that just doesn't care for a shutter door at all.
This is where you're incorrect. I play like a wet wipe. Left shutter, always. We're not as manly as Condawg is, dealing over 2,000 damage a map as medic. So, yeah, it's the shutter. But I feel like, second is tried, tested, and it comes down to soldier decision making. So it's very much like those soldiers are always going to do that alleyway high bomb because you can't counter it unless you've got Yimpo's sticky traps because he puts them really high up on the wall. He's gorgeous. But it depends really, because if you see that medic go back in the shutter, whether you're going to curve, whether you're going to land on someone else, if you manage to spot anything else, it comes down to decision making in a split second as how effective those things are. And you mentioned Haunts and Runs. They are pretty good decision makers in split second decisions. So, yeah.
Okay, Condawg. Obviously, we've had 2 maps to look at these 2 teams, and I like to talk and highlight some MVPs of like the match. And you do a good job at this. I'm going to take my earpiece out for this section, and I'm going to ask you, who's doing well in this server before you scream down my ear.
Let me have a little think. It's got to be the best soldier in Europe. It's Rons. He's doing bits for this MANDEM squad. Honestly, Rons, he's leading from the front. Do you see his soldier bombs on Process? He was forcing meds, getting picks all over the map. Amazing on mids. But let's not forget, it's the whole squad, Turbo. It's a team game. So...
that was quite reserved, all things considered.
So I can give it
Usually
a bit more.
you're absolutely shouting down my ear. I have to get my Specsaver's ear test after the end of this, but no, you're quite reserved in this one.
That's right, yeah, no worries, bud.
Lucky, you got any love to share over on the 4 fence? Is anybody kind of playing just that little bit better on that 4 fence squad?
Yeah, got to give it to Nevo. He's very consistent, consistently. What are you looking at me like that for? He's just laughing at me. No, honestly, I think that June and Mula have been having good games so far. They're both playing very consistently, both playing well with their teams. It's very hard to fault anything that they're doing. They're very, very, very good medics, so they're doing well. But I think whenever you watch Nevo, he's always sort of leading from the front. Ron's has obviously been always good, so I feel like you don't really need to mention him at this point. But also mentioning Zams, they haven't got Fancy Elf, but he's stepping up to the plate, right?
I've been really impressed with Zams. Just an absolute bedrock of skill, and it's not even the kind where he's phoning it in a little bit. He seems to be really putting in a lot of impactful gameplay, and I don't think we want to hear Bill's take on this.
Oh, I've been talking to Bill in the background, so don't you worry. I've got him on speed dial. He wants to know all the updates from
Have
the room.
you got him on speed dial? The only place I've been seeing him is in Twitch chat, just literally trolling.
Yeah, because he's at home, you know. But I've been talking to him. I've been letting him know, and he's, you know, you got
I
Boulder.
don't think you need to tell me that he's at home. I assume he's
we
at
all
home.
know that. If anyone's seen Bill, send him to the couch. We want to know what he's thinking.
All right, Condawg, Metalworks, I'm just going to ask straight out, what score are we going to get?
The score on
Score.
Metalworks.
The score can tell a story. Is it going to be slow? Is it going to be fast? Is it going to be
Turbo.
decisive? Is it not?
It's going to be decisive. And I think we all know. It's going to be 4-1 to the MANDEM. The MANDEM going to be bringing it home. We're going straight to the grand final, baby. The MANDEM are my kings.
Lucky, if you could give me an educated answer to my question, what do you think the score is going to be? No,
Golden
biases
Cap
aside.
MANDEM.
Pardon?
Golden Cap. Like Golden
Cap,
the meta
oh.
slowed down a lot.
I mean,
I feel like everyone
interesting
plays
score.
much slower.
Is it going to be? What's the scoreline going to be to get to that Golden Cap? Is it going to be like a 0-0 slugfest, or are we going to just fumble a couple of rounds in there between two teams?
Yeah, just fumbling and bumbling, to be honest. No one's going to know what they're doing. No, I'm joking. But I just feel like both teams play in such a controlled way that, you know, they don't want to give up too much at this stage. You know, you've got to the game that you need to beat to go up against Witness in the final. I feel like both of them are going to have jitters. And that's why I think it's going to be sloppy into the end, and I think it's going to be drawn on the end. That's my opinion.
Condawg, this game obviously going to 3 maps. Do you see this as kind of detrimental to the winner here? Like, sure, they're going to be pretty happy with this. They're going to be ecstatic, full of like joy, but they're going to be just that little bit tired. 1 map more tired, to be exact. Whoever wins here, does that make them the prime loser for Witness Gaming in the final?
I mean, Turbo, I do think it is a detriment, absolutely. I mean, the Frenchies, you got to be thinking, this is their 6th map of the day. They've already come out of that best of 3 against Venom Crest. They're going to be feeling
And
tired.
it's not plain maps as well. These are Golden Caps, stressful games.
Long games, so absolutely. I don't know if they've had a chance to slip out and get some food. I hope they fueled up early. You know, I'm sure they got a few Monsters and Red Bulls. Not sponsored, by the way. Getting those in just to get a bit, you know, get some energy. But yeah, I think it will be a little bit detrimental towards these teams, and I hope it doesn't affect the grand finals. But we always knew it was going to be a slaughter fest. We knew it would be going to long, close maps. You know, the Golden Caps were inevitable. So, you know, we'll see what happens in this last one.
And Lucky, obviously this is a game between MANDEM and Forfence, but let's not forget that Witness Gaming are hiding in the shadows. They're, you know, looking between like the debris and kind of analysing and scanning their enemies. Do you think they've given anything up here? Do you think they've like revealed anything to Witness Gaming and they're already cooking up some counters?
No, I think they're going to be taking it 1 game at a time, to be honest. I feel like there's no one really in the scene anymore like Coach Cadus with his book. No one's really preparing for anyone else ahead of time. They sort of do play against each other in the season, of course, and they have that inkling about how they play.
Well, Piggles was on the couch here earlier, and so apparently Thomas had old Coach Kado on the phone cross-continent, so, you know, maybe he has got his notebook, it's just more digitized.
What do you think, Connor? You're in deep with the Witness boys. How do you think they're feeling going into the next game? Do you reckon they prefer Forfence or MANDEM, and why?
Wait, this guy's MANDEM and a Witness, you know, negotiator as well?
I got my fingers in many pies, Turbo. They all love me. You know, I got Muda from the boys on the French. You know, the MANDEM love me. Everybody loves me. Everybody loves Condawg, I think. I think the Witness boys will be happy this went to the 3rd map. It gives them more to look at. I don't think they're going to be looking too much into the demos. But I did see last night, Thomas, he had all the boys around him, all crowded around the PC, and they were, you know, doing the old slow-mo through the old demo UI, fast-forwarding past the boring bits, and they're an analysis type of team. They're going to be looking deep into what's going on, and I wouldn't put it past them. I did see Lucas, he was in the MANDEM room with us, you know, looking at Samus, looking at his counterpart, trying to find out if, you know, what he can, and he's sneaky little sticky traps maybe he's never seen before. So, yeah, I've lost my train of thought. I'm tired.
So basically, Witness are doing a little bit of homework, but they're not per se following on their opponents. They're following on themselves. That's what I gather from your train of thought.
They'll be keeping their ears and eyes about them, but they're not going to be going too deep into these games because, you know, they've got their own games to play. I've seen them warming up on a little bit of Ulti Joe, a little bit of B-Ball, as I was nipping to Zabka earlier. So they'll just be wanting to keep themselves a little bit warm for the game and not overthink it. You know, they beat the MANDEM yesterday. They're in a fairly comfortable position. They just have to wait until this last game gets finished.
All right, Lucky, I'm talking to Lucky the player here. Lucky the LAN attender, the LAN player. Now, obviously, you probably get to the odd game free every now and then, and it's got to be quite stressing to get to that third game. The breaks get longer. What do you even talk about with your team at this point? Is it worth overthinking these things? Is it worth going through certain rituals or practices before game three?
Well, I think in the middle of a series, it's never really a good idea to look into too much detail about individual elements. It's probably best to look at the team as a whole, so you don't like call out one player. You try and keep the vibes good. Everyone's on the same page. Everyone's having a good time. I think you just mainly talk about, you know, what we're doing on the mids. What are we doing after that? What's our game plan? We should stop doing these things, and we should start doing these things. And, you know, you talk as a team. You kind of pull out the bits that are your worst bits and talk about that the most. And I think just as long as your team is having a good time and you're all on the same page, I feel like it's a recipe for success.
And Condawg, finally, just to touch a little bit now, between these games, obviously the caster, there's a lot of eyeballs on this. It's quite hype. Do you think any of these players are tempted to like have a quick look at the stream, maybe look at the little clips between games or anything? Is fiending allowed between, you know, all these maps, or is it discouraged in teams?
I don't know. Is it discouraged? I don't have a clue.
Are you saying that, you know, when you've been playing,
I'm
you've been
joking,
casted?
Joey. Look, they're not going to be looking at the stream. They're going to be focused on the game. They might be getting a few tunes on, perhaps. You know, I saw Zoe, Old Tavin, clicking on Spotify, getting the nice songs, getting him in the
They
mood.
put songs on while they're playing.
There are some players, I've seen them.
So what? It's like, guys, we can't push yet. The beat's not dropped yet. We need to wait.
Let me stick on some smooth jazz, you know, maybe get on Kiss from a Rose by Seal, that sort of thing, just to really get them in the mood.
Oh no, guys, we can't push. Power Rangers just came on my Spotify playlist. No. Shit, we're going anyway. Mighty Morphin, let's go. Tyrannosaurus Rex. All right, okay. Lucky, just remind me one more time. Just one word, one answer. Who winning?
Frenchies.
The same to you, Condawg. Who winning?
It's my boys on the
That's
MANDEM.
not one word, Condawg.
MANDEM.
MANDEM. All right, I'll say one word as well. Casters.
The
Hello,
moment
viewers.
Turbo taps through to casters, Zams left the game.
Yep. So,
Do you know what we could do, Sonny? We could just look at the camera for a while. You looking good? Some nice little eye candy. Thoughts?
I look disheveled. I'm tired.
We've been casting for a while, right?
It's been a long evening, brother. It's been a long evening.
Keep going. Guys, if you think this game is good, wait until you see the next one. You know what I mean? We have a whole nother best of 5 coming up after this. Whoever wins this gets, like, as little a break as they can possibly negotiate with the admins, and then they immediately have to play Witness. That's a tough ask on anyone.
Out of the pot into the pan. Just one step further, probably out of the boiling water into the cooking oil. It's
Yeah.
not gonna get any easier, let's say it like that. We already saw teams discussing in chat that this is what they consider to be the grand final. This is what they consider to be the thing that matters most to both of them. They don't even care after that. This is it. This is for the marbles, and they're ready to go with Metalworks, taking it straight into our first mid-fight. Both teams, Forfence and MANDEM, a map apiece. 30 more minutes can separate either one of these from a ticket into the grand finals, and we'll see how the first mid will set the stage. Both of the demos not under a lot of early pressure. They're going to be able to breathe before a little bit before they get some aggression put on them by the rest of the enemy team. And see MANDEM very bunched up in this valley area as the soldier goes high. Goronx just tries to grab a bit of ground, but neither team really giving each other too much of a corner here. Eventually Forfence though, claiming a little bit more ground to go with. Nobody dying on either side yet. Both of these teams playing very, very carefully, and at this rate, Ubers may come into play sooner rather than later. Inzo will be the first to fall on this mid fight, and that will probably open things up for Forfence to finally take this mid under control, and MANDEM gonna be careful to just get back out to second.
very, very slow mid-fight. No one really willing to go for much of anything. Slight soldier aggression coming out through topside, but then again, it's ultimately just 1 kill onto Inso is going to seal the deal on that mid-fight now. French is heading over towards Ali, maybe looking for the classic soldier sack in. They've got a scout positioned in lower as well. Looking to go in aggressive. It is Grudgeman flying forwards here, straight in onto the enemy team. He goes and finds very little damage. Gets right back out. Now even Uber's still. Early French aggression does not find much of anything, but they're going to keep up this alley pressure. Just Delhi now getting a bit more aggressive. Back off just a little bit more now, and I think we're going to see a soldier sacking in once again. Evo, very, very aggressive.
Just trying to see what they can get away with, how much ground MANDEM are willing to give them. There's a lot of aggression comes into the lobby area, and unfortunately, the Mule is going to be traded out for runs here as Inzo and QB also go for their 1v1. It's so close for both of them, but they both get away with a sliver of HP. Both will meet up with their teams again, and it'll just remain at that soldier trade for the time being, as Forfans have to figure something out here. They have to figure out how to get into this, because especially yesterday when we saw them play MANDEM on Metalworks as well, they were struggling a bit with the second point, and they couldn't get the soldier bombs to work as well as they really wanted them to. So we'll see if they found a solution, if they figured it out using demo review and whatnot to really get themselves going here, because that's been their sore spot for a bit, and we'll see if they can maybe find a solution to it. Because right now they're just sitting, they're just waiting around.
It's Delhi with the early spam, really, from these Sickies looking to create the opening for his soldiers, but really also unwilling to commit. Now, instead, Nevo's had enough. He wants to go forward to get the trade, but unfortunately dropped. And this is the Frenchies collapsing there. Slight miscommunication between your scout and your medic means that Uber is popped. You lose to Grudgeman with the taunt, and that is a fight crumbling completely for Forfans.
Uber comes out as well to chase down the remaining players here for Forfans. Boulder will win the fight against QB, and even gonna a little bit of forward spawn camping here, not like that heavy is gonna get out anytime soon. Mula does escape with his life though, so the Ubers are actually going to end up being rather equal, all things considered. Sure, Forfans have just lost 2 points back to back and are sitting on their own last, but at the very least, the opportunities to hold, pretty good. It's not looking all that bad for them just yet. Nothing is lost, and it's still very much feasible for them to do something. Meanwhile, Inzo coming up on the spy straight away, seeing if he can maybe make the spy work stick.
I mean, it's the Frenchies on last, right? The spy does have a bit of time to set up, even Ubers as well. But the first part of the spy plays, you have to initiate it in a way where people don't like accidentally spam you as you're trying to walk in, right? So on the Cloak and Dagger this time, he's going to have to wait around close by this lobby exit before he can realistically push forwards. It's going to take a very, very long time to set this up. Crouching in forwards and manages to slip under the bridge for now. So far, so good. Sentry gun spotted as well. So this Invis Watch is dangerously low to running out, but just barely goes unnoticed now. Here's free reign. He's going to peek forwards, but this is a spy in spawn from QB, and he's going to instantly spot, I'm pretty sure, this spy up on the other side. Now Inso once again is going to accidentally bump the sniper, but I don't think he realized it's essentially got killed onto the side of Nevo, falling now Condawg, represented by Rons. He's just going to fall down, and this Inso spy is still in play, but Demul is checking for him.
Metal Gear Solid. He's doing his best Solstick impression. Unfortunately, eventually, he gets spotted. Just too patient, perhaps. Taking too long to eventually decide to decloak. So they're going to clean that spy up. Nicky split, no problem. And it's going to be on Forfans to just continue this hold. There's no reason for them to push out off of that one pick, obviously. It's going to be on MANDEM to figure out what they want to do instead. Looks like Inzo Sniper is the switch up they're looking for in that regard. And obviously QB is going to check for that right away. Going to be ready for that sniper play.
And it's like, this has been the default solution for MANDEM for all 3 maps at this point. But honestly, has not seen that much success, and they found themselves kind of ultimately stuck on this sniper as the sort of situation devolves from an even Uber last stalemate. The sniper, when they actually come to try and push with it, just is not that effective. Other sniper from QB is spotted out immediately. I'm going to go on a bit of a sniper trade here, in through the shutters, but it's hard to keep these shutters open. Very, very spammable by the enemy team. Alter stands up on the side as well, really trying to keep taking care of this sniper. Neither sniper's really finding much of anything right now. Instead, it's one soldier bomb of Haunts going straight in, and that opens the door for Inso. Getting a headshot there onto QB, but Haunts traded away, straight away. But Inso just has to back off.
Has to wait for a little bit. I was going to say the defensive sniper usually favored much more on this Metalworks last. You can hold the angle so much easier. There's this one spot where you can watch basically all 3 doors, almost all 3 doors very, very easily. Meanwhile, Inzo really has to work for his angles. Either has to have somebody open that door for him or find a deep peek into something. And, you know, just winning the sniper duel isn't really going to cut it, especially when forfeits are playing around the sniper so well. They know that he's going to be sitting in that main door. They know that that is a side lane you don't really want to peek too aggressively. And if you can just get some spam to take him down, Bruchman finds that kill. That opens things up even more now. Perhaps forfeits seeing an opportunity, especially if Ron's gets taken down as well. No, he does live. But perhaps seeing an opportunity to have QB be a bit more aggressive, find an angle himself, or just content to go for that round reset. At this point, 1.5 minutes left on the clock. Unlikely to push out, really. I think they're content just licking their wounds, living with the mistakes they made took them here in the first place, and getting away with a sigh of relief that it didn't lose them around yet.
Frenchies have been very willing, right, to live this round reset so far. So Metalworks last season. Very, very hard to push out of. It's both soldiers aggressing in, but QB with the headshot as well means that 4 players are sacked in there from MANDEM, all dying in an instant. And that is going to prompt the French aggression in onto second. You did not pop an Uber, but there is not really any teammates there for Boulder to support him if he decided to go for that campaign. So they're going to be forced to run back onto middle here. Everyone is up, though. So forfeits now find themselves, instead of on the back foot, they're on, like, what do you call the not back foot, but not the forward foot?
Just standing.
The mid foot.
Standing still, I suppose.
They're standing.
They're just standing where they are, standing their ground on the second, and, well, they were in this role before, but just on the other side, right? They maybe have a thing or two here. Figure out why it went wrong for them and replicate what MANDEM did when they held it, as Ron's tries to get himself in there, but doesn't look at the jumps going, doesn't look at the ground he wants, has to reset his bomb as well. And Boulder doing his best Levo impression as he just bottles up forward a little bit. Does a lot of aggression, a lot of damage there, at least for a little bit. Ron's is backing up his team, but ultimately they just have to give up the position again. It's not working well for them. Zam's trying to back up his team as well. They're a lot more aggressive than forfeits were in that alley area. And Inzo tries to slip in below as well. Does damage onto QB there, but can't quite win the duel. We'll have to concede that one, and it looks like MANDEM have to back off because of that one.
Losing 1 player, not the end of the world. Obviously just backing off. Curious to see what Inzo chooses to do. Might come up on cycle once again. The pacing certainly there for it, right? We're kind of finding ourselves in a similar situation where now we're just on a stalemate on last. However, I do believe that cracking that forward hold is a little bit easier. Oh, so far in. Beautiful little bomb there. Unfortunately, only finding 1 rocket onto Mula. Inzo staying on scout means that they are just back on mid. Once again, down a player. Some kind of an angle for forfeits to try and aggress. 3.5 minutes left on the round, but MANDEM content to stay into a Valley, potentially rotating over to Alley. Sending in once more a bit of a sack. They're doing a decent job of pressure.
They're definitely doing a better job than forfeits were earlier in this map, so we'll see how that works out for them, though. They're not quite finding enough leverage just yet to really make these picks or these sack plays work, and they need to have something happen. A crucial bomb once again by Rons. A little bit onto the point, not much beyond that, though. Might not escape for that one. Deli eventually finds the sticky to clean that one up. Maybe this is enough to prompt a bit of counter aggression out of forfeits. The Mool certainly feeling himself in the hallway, approaching a bit of there, and forfeits not getting too much more with it, but just happy to take as much ground as they can. Very slow, very methodical, very tense game so far. Neither team really wanting to take too much of a risk on these because they know how quickly it can backfire.
You see Inzo there running back to his own second, debating with his team, I assume, whether or not he should off-class. Decides against it, running back to middle now. MANDEM once again looking to set up onto this alley play. Has not been successful so far, but the initial pressure has looked alright. They just haven't really managed to capitalize off of it properly. Demo spam coming in once again. Now stickies are being blown off, but this is Ron's unable to really get any further with it. Just backing off once again. Now 2 minutes left on the round timer. Roquan has even gone for the trade.
Oh, there he is.
Surprising. Rons is just in onto lobby this time, but he cannot. Just barely wins the 1v1 there onto his former teammate as they trade across. Now it is the Mool taken down as well, and MANDEM, a little bit of that spring in their step. Is big damage onto Deli as well, meaning that now 2 soldier kills MANDEM potentially looking to take this in onto last.
Yeah, they're actually trying to take a bit of initiative for once. Eventually, Hans does go down though, and I think that's gonna slow them down straight down again. A wrench in the works. Nothing's gonna make them return to the second faster than that. They're gonna have to slow this down again. And forFence once more just burning down the clock. Unfortunately for them, a round reset is now further away than it just was, even if they were going for it. And they're being so careful trying to set up this last hold now. Really interesting how neither team has even had to pop an Uber or heck even tried to just go for an exchange or anything like that. They're just so careful. They don't want to risk anything at all. They're being so passive. It's incredible.
This is, I think, what Metalworks can do to you, right? Especially in and out of this last, it's so difficult to push, especially when even Ubers. And it's also, like, this is such a difficult last hold to break as well. You can see Haunts is bombing in. You have to just go in onto the sentry gun. And now you're sacking both of your soldiers for one sentry gun kill. And now what? You have to back off. That's it. Nevo up on an offensive sniper here, defensive rather. Looking to find some kind of an angle. Does go a bit offensively in there. But no angle to be found at whatsoever. So just going to be holding this charge up on that box.
Tension.
Maybe someone peeks it.
The tension is palpable. He really does not want to commit too much to it either though. And it just looks like it's going to devolve into this round reset fishing. And perhaps forFence maybe even just wanting to burn the clock down a bit, maybe wanting MANDEM to get a bit desperate, because perhaps that's when they make mistakes. Perhaps that's when things will work for them. Hans again in with a bomb onto the sentry. Does maybe get for the engine instead? No, will not get it. Runs to the follow-up. They do find the gun. Inzo's in as well to follow up with some damage. QB gets taken down. There's a lot of damage to the soldier. There goes the Mool. These are the frags they're looking for. They're just bullying their way into this. Mula gets forced off the damage as well. It's so much better of an Uber for the side of June, but she does have to flash quite a bit to keep her team alive. So much cap time. Boulder just stands on the point. This is actually so winnable for MANDEM. They have the numbers. They have the players. forFence are not going to get the spawn in time. Zams is going to just nuke his way through this point, and they're going to convert the round off the back of that.
The pause comes out, but you guys know exactly what that means, right? That cap almost there, but this is because we're playing with a tiny little STV delay, which means that this pause comes out just a little bit later. But that push from Inso, it's so good. He just goes in and finds 3 frags off of his soldiers that do play very good aggression, but he just follows it up so well.
They find the crucial frags as well, right? They actually get the kills there. That's so important that they find the forFence frags, because even if you're in that situation, they can just go back to spawn, right? They can just kite you for a while, let the little bit of chip damage do the work, and then wait for MANDEM to back up. But they commit, they full send that as soon as they realize they're getting a bit of leverage on that last point, a bit of ground, and just start mulching them on the point. Boulder, great cap time play, pulling players onto that point, making sure Zams is lined up for them. Hans with some extra supporting fire as well. Wonderfully done. I'm a bit baffled that it worked out like that, but sometimes you don't even really need to use to win last.
This is, when the pace of a map is as slow as this is, one round is so much scarier.
Yes.
Especially on a map like Metalworks, right? Where it is just a little bit harder to convert these round victories, or these mid-fight victories, advantages that aren't massive Uber advantages, into real rounds. And when you get a play like that, like from your flank, you have to cherish it. And it's really now putting forFence once again finding themselves, I feel like for most of this series,
behind.
On the back foot.
Always fighting from behind. Also, curious that play really coming out of Inzo, because I was thinking for most of this LAN, he had been a bit quiet. He's always been a playmaker for this MANDEM team, and I always felt like throughout the last few days, at least on this LAN, he hadn't shown up as much as I think he has potential to do. But in this match specifically, he's really coming to his own, especially on this map now. With that play alone, really opening it up with that aggression, just taking it forward. And you know this pause comes in right as the round has ended, so you know forFence is already cooking themselves. Why did we let this happen? How can this come to be again? Because I'm pretty sure this was a similar situation when they played this team yesterday. They also went down on Metalworks. They eventually ended up losing the map, and this is something you don't really want to have to repeat. So let's see if the homework they did worked out. If this little bit of re-centering yourself with the tactical pause was worth it. And, well, MANDEM go up a round. There's like half the map time left, roughly. About 17 minutes, so we'll see.
It's been such a slow map so far, right, Sonny? Like, even the mid-fight was decided by 1 scout kill.
Yeah.
because we've been sitting so far back, right? Like, it has been a game, such a slow game. And being able to finally convert one of those small advantages is so big for MANDEM. Back onto mid this time around, though. Early damage onto the Frenchies, who are finding themselves on a little bit of a low ground, but that is Inso falling, and Deli finding himself a huge ankle. Zam's dropping down quite low in house, and that is QB cleaning him up. Now no Demo Man for the side of MANDEM means that they have to watch out, trying to run back in onto second, and I think they do manage to escape. So that is June surviving. Frenchies win the mid, but even Ubers, we're on last.
They're on last at the very least. It's further than they got in that first round, right? They
Frenchies
never
are going.
even had the angle of this, and they're just going. They're just sending it straight in. This is the aggression that you need to see. This is the strategy switch up they were probably looking for. They do get that gun down very soon. Unfortunately, Deli's also very low, so they can't quite commit to this too much longer. And there's another pause in the ranks. Whether this is technical, these teams are not wanting to let anything trip them up at this point.
Okay, but like, I'm trying to do the calculations in my head of how that is attack pause and not attack pause.
I mean, it could be that somehow Forfans win.
Oh no, we just did the pause on pause thing, so it's definitely someone
DC'd,
crashing.
Yeah, somebody DC'd.
Yeah,
somebody
we're
crashed.
looking
Okay.
for someone to rejoin the game.
I was gonna say, there's a chance it's a MANDEM attack pause if they just lost like extremely
but
fast.
like you look at the situation, right? Like, it just has to like crumble so unbelievably hard for them to be able to get in like within the next 10 seconds and capture that round. Like, Demul is nowhere near, unless he's like on the pain train or something, I guess. The scout could just like run in, but it's a heavy looking at him, right? Like, this is definitely a bit of a technical pause.
Well, I hope is hoping that it's only a minor issue. A little game crash happens to the best of us. It's only a game that came out 18 years ago. I'm sure that's they'll figure that one out very quickly. I don't think it's going to be that hard.
I really do like, though, that the Frenchies are choosing to go in as aggressively as they are, not
Yeah.
giving MANDEM time to really set up their last hold and really making them work for it from minute one. As now we're back live, and Instamul just kind of traded out already, and you can see that prompts Frenchies to back off, at least for now. Inso swapping back off, and I think that might have even been the player that disconnected and reconnected. We're back. 1-0 MANDEM still managing to stave off the initial French aggression.
Yeah, okay job. We'll have to see if they can keep that up, though. If they can keep that job up, because Frenchies are still in this. They didn't really do much, or much. They didn't have to commit too much. They didn't lose much with that aggression, and it's their move to make. They haven't had many opportunities to get into this last so far. This is the first time they find themselves on it in this map, and we'll remind them, they're down around, half the map time is already gone, so if they're going to take another half map, then it's going to be another close nail biter as the Mule tries to set himself across again. Elsa the Sentry does get it down immediately, so that is one sort of Bruchman. Nice little rocket! And Hans does get taken down eventually, but QB gets cleaned up, so does Bruchman. They don't find Boulder either, as he just cleans up the body shots. And MANDEM not looking keen to push out off of that just yet. 3 frags is not enough for a Metalworks last push out. They're going to have to get a little bit more than that.
It's so scary, right? It's so difficult to push out of that lobby. Very easy for Forfans to get their spawners up in time as well and just take that fight on second. Should you lose enough players that can send it back in, and then suddenly your momentum on last is lost, or rather your... I guess it's not momentum, it's the opposite of momentum, right?
It's the momentum stalling, the potential you have
the
to
lack
stall.
of like anything, and the inability to push this. It is just a Mule setting himself into this sentry time and time again. He is killing it, and that allows the sack to come in from his teammates, coming in, sending themselves onto that demo. But look at the damage dealt in return. They're losing so many in these sack attempts, and MANDEM unwilling to take the bait.
Same exact play 2 times in a row, and the outcome is the same as well 2 times in a row. Perhaps Forfans do want to look into a different strategy, try to switch things up a little bit, because it's not working out right now. Things are not going exactly how they would like them to go with these sack attempts, and maybe this is what they were discussing. This is the strategies that they were trying to figure out, right? If it worked for MANDEM, how can we make something similar work as well? Try to send ourselves into the sentry, get a bit of aggression going with the second soldier staggered behind, but they really need to make it actually stick, and they're not sticking the landing so far. Here we go again. Bruchman in on the far side this time around as Bull perhaps tries to go in main, or they're just going to try to spam down the sentry a different way this time around, but they're just getting pressured so much by these other soldiers. Hans does crater, does maybe open things up a little, but they got to worry about this Boulder sniper as well, and if he just lands one shot, that immediately turns it around. Nevo out of the equation, and that is enough to get Forfans to back off again.
Really nice shot there from Boulder. shutting that down. You can see exactly what Brudgeman wants to do, right? He wants to get in, get that spam from far away in onto the gun, but the sniper from Bolt is so effective at deterring it. Instead, Brudgeman just sends it straight forward, and now Demul, once again, he's actually managed to find his way in behind the sentry gun, does not quite find any more than a sniper kill, and that's going to keep the French in, as actually Sam's falling as well. Runs, not finding the air shot, but it looks like they've managed to stave off the French aggression once again, just 2 alive. And I think this might prompt a bit of MANDEM re-aggression. They only have 5 players on their team right now.
It's Inzo reconnecting for whatever reason, but he's just rejoining. I'm sure it won't matter much in the situation anyway. They're sitting on last regardless, and it's not like he was doing all that much. I mean, I guess it's essentially out of the equation. But Forfans, sure, they have sportsmanship. They're going to wait that one out as well a little bit. And, well, we'll see how these technical issues and all that affect the outcome for this. But for now, it seems to be going just fine. Inzo's back on the sniper instead. They've just swapped roles on the scouts here, and well, and we'll see if Forfans can find their way to this once more. It's the high ground there for the soldier. Brugman needs a lot of damage. He's on a DH trying to get that sentry down instead, but can't quite get the spam down that he needs to. It's taken down instead, and it's just another reset. Forfans really trying to throw things at the wall here, seeing what sticks, and they're just not finding it right now. They're not finding the golden solution, the golden path to take them to this last push.
It's 40 seconds left on this round as well. Before it just resets, we go right back to middle. Only 11 minutes and 30 seconds left. At this point now, you can see exactly Frenchies are realizing this. They just have to send this in now for a trade. It starts off well with a lot of damage onto the soldier. Manages to migrate into spawn, but that is Nevo shut down by the gun. It is Brudgeman falling for it as well. Aggression coming in onto Mula, who just barely manages to dodge, giving Horns a bit of jukes. But now does end up falling. Just Demul, and QB left alive. Has to send it in onto June, but does not find the kill. Instead, it is only the force. And I think that will keep MANDEM in this round. We will not be going back to mid because they find themselves a massive advantage. QB finds himself a bit of an inso kill traded onto QB as well.
They don't
so
really
we might stabilize on mid. I
really want that mid fight. Yeah, they're just going to cap the point. It was 5 seconds from the reset as well. It's an interesting choice indeed, but MANDEM are just going to aggress this. QB is still down as well. They have a bit of an ad to work with, and Forfans are trying to bring the fight to them as best they can as the bomb goes across for both of these soldiers. That's Mula out of position. A little bit of damage. There goes Deli taken down as well, and they're chasing this medic to the ends of the earth, and they eventually also do find him. 3 players down for that demo and a medic combo meal deal, and MANDEM are going to be more than happy for that. Now all they got to do is make sure the same doesn't happen to them, and they are way out of harm's way, so far back.
So far back there, really needing to keep June alive. And at this point, they're giving up so much ground, right? You see Forfans are just, for the moment, regrouping on middle because Mula died so late, he just spawned. And so actually, they probably won't be able to get any further than just this midpoint, and now MANDEM. Big advantage, trying to push in onto mid, but depending on your angle, you either have to go instantly or Forfans can just spam out the super. This is a very, very dangerous push.
They do go very, very early on that one, and they try to chase as best as they can, but nobody's close. All these Forfans players have already scattered and ran as far as they can to get away from that Uber, doing a magnificent job just getting out of harm's way. Now, able to re-aggress themselves. Look at that Uber difference. Mula's going to have sooner rather than later, even if the Uber, the point flips. There's a chance for Forfans. There's an angle here, and when MANDEM are aware, Ron's very aggressive to try and get some damage there, get some spam down. Brugman dies as well, but that's Inzo and Ron's taken down for the side of MANDEM. Hans behind as well, tries to get out to Mula, can't get that force out of him, or even the kill. So they're just going to have to stabilize on mid, and MANDEM have to leave. Content with the fact that they've stalled for more time. At the end of the day, they're still up around. They can still afford to just stall for time, and it's working wonderfully for them so far.
They're stuck on last though. They've given up so much positioning here. They were trying to push in, make this 2-0 here onto Forfans, but they managed to respond in kind. Now, once again, early aggression coming in. Do not let them set up this last hold. Heavy already up, gun being built as well means that now Demul is taking a lot of damage, even trying to come through. Just hovering around, but this is a level 1 gun. Uber just coming straight in. June will have this and able to respond, keeping their demo man alive now. However, sentry gun is falling. It's a heavy up as well, but Nevo falling to stickies mean that the Frenchies are nowhere near any kind of a last capture. We are on to second. Both teams pop their Ubers, and no one is pushing.
So it's getting down to the wire for the Frenchies here. Double bomb through. The sentry's not going to be much of an issue. There's so much damage into the combo!
disgusting bomb there towards the end, finding the kill onto June, and I think that might just be exactly the miracle that they need. Is Deli falling already though, so now it's a bit of a weird fight. Mula not quite with his teammates, and they are going to aggressive. Boulder right in on to the enemy medic, but Mula giving him the jukes. Zams though is going to fall in the meantime. They commit so much to the medic, but that's not enough for ForFence. They're on your point. And we equalize. It's 7.5 minutes left.
Both of
This game is never gonna end though.
Both of these last pushes, so weird, so
Look at
strange
that
off
bomb.
the back of that
Disgusting.
beautiful bomb. Perfectly timed again. He's always on top of the perfect positioning.
Still got it.
Still got it, man. He still got it. And there we are, 1-0 Metalworks. Still in this. 7 minutes left on the clock. ForFence and MANDEM neck in neck. Neither team able to get a decisive lead for too long as they take it away from these mids. Once more runs high bomb deep in, immediately onto Deli. Lots of damage onto Mula as well. He gets caught by that. It is disastrous straight away for ForFence here. They can't possibly stick this out any longer. QB goes out as well. Nevo's so low. Hans already in behind MANDEM. More than ready to clap back so quickly. There goes the move. Trade it out for Hans. Doesn't matter though. No, it does not. If you lose a soldier there, you have a full Uber in store. MANDEM are ready to come back straight away.
Dude, Rons is so beautiful on that mid. Perfect sync onto the enemy medic and demo there, and there's just nothing to be said for MANDEM. Unplayable mid, and the cleanup from Haunts as well in behind opens up the door so much. June has a massive advantage here to push in onto Lust with. And ForFence for a second had equalized, but now I think MANDEM are feeling very confident about going up 2-1.
ForFence hanging on by a thread again. They have to make this hold stick, and this Uber comes through. They might essentially kind of slowly. It's not a cap time though, to just stand on it. It doesn't even matter. If your enemies are not going to get to the point in time, you can stick it out. If your Uber doesn't find them, they have to go find you, and they did not find them. ForFence were not looking for that objective, so immediately MANDEM return, get another round on the board. 5 minutes and 49 seconds on the clock for ForFence to find their way back into this again. They seem to play better under pressure. They seem to play better from behind. That's when they get most clutch, but they have to make that clutch stick, and it's not getting any easier as the time ticks down again. Another mid-fight. We'll see if Rons manages to pull off the same miracle again, or if ForFence find their own miraculous bombs into this mid-haunts.
It's an early bomb coming in there from Haunts, just trying to take high ground. Saboul tries a little bit of a bomb, but ends up eating so much spam damage. Now, Frenchie's in a bad position, but it is Demul winning the 1v1 versus Rons, and that means that now health bars for MANDEM are not there, but they are escaping with their lives. And this is the big difference, right, between the ForFence and the MANDEM victories. When MANDEM won mid, they had massive advantage to work with. Now, for ForFence, they are having to push in onto second. The initial grudgment aggression does not pay off for them, and I think we're stabilizing a little bit. This is the nightmare scenario for ForFence. There's 5 minutes left on both map and round timer, and so the only way you win this now is by converting, finding an advantage, and they have been not very... trying to put this nice. They have not been very good at doing so far.
They've been struggling, at the very least, to put it politely, with these conversions, and this second is going to be the hard one to get into, but they have to make it stick no matter what. They have no choice. They can't look for excuses anymore. They can't try to play it safe or play it slow. They have to be aggressive if they want to have a chance, and still sticking this one out. There's no other way, and they have to get onto that enemy team somehow. Get that force out. Get a miraculously good pick. The Wolf fighting in lobby here. Immediately just rushed down by the whole flank. Almost kills both, but doesn't quite get away with it. Now Inzo can be a bit of an annoyance here as Ron slips in behind as well. Hans pressuring the Valley. It's not looking all that great.
Wait, they're
ForFence already. They're kind of just getting bullied out back to mid.
Look at Rons now. He can come in. Heat-seeking missile there onto Mula, but he manages to survive. QB locked and loaded, getting ready to deal with Rons falling now to pick advantage. You know for a fact what Frenchies are going to try to do. They're going to try to come in from alley and get this force onto June. Once again, soldier aggression coming in onto House. They want this kill so bad onto Demul, and they just find him by bullying themselves in, and they are delaying. But look at what's happening on second. They're giving up a lot of cap time, trying to go in and delay them on middle now as the Uber trade comes across. Is one player down here for MANDEM as Haunt has fallen. Lots of damage dealt across as the Uber from the Frenchies is way later, but they are only 3 up. And now, having to contest against so many MANDEM members, they give up their demo man, but the wrap is coming through. There is no escape from anyone on poLAND, and the weirdest fight, it comes crumbling down. Now, 3 minutes left, MANDEM can smell it.
They are so close to finally putting a cap on this lower bracket final, to finally go to the grand finals and be done with it. Put an end to these French shenanigans, but poLAND are still in it to fight this. There's still an opportunity, a chance to make it happen. QB trade out for Boulder on the other side. Inzo dangerous and low as well. They're actually finding a lot of damage here. They're denying this man to push forward, but at the end of the day, the Ubers tell a different story, and MANDEM is much closer to theirs, and poLAND is to theirs. So poLAND are not just working from behind on score, but on the situation right now as well. It just does not favor them whatsoever. MANDEM really in control of the game right now. They can completely dictate the pace of the game, and it's going to be on poLAND pulling miracles out the hat.
June has this defensive Uber to work with. You just sit here on second and hold for 2 minutes, right? poLAND have one chance. MANDEM have never made it to a LAN finals before. Every single time they have finished 3rd place. It would be a first for all of them, I'm pretty sure. Coming in to a finals for the very first time here on LAN. And they are putting in work to get there. Uber now coming straight in from Nevo, in onto the enemy team, responded in kind by June. And where is the follow-up from either team? Because poLAND are scattered to the winds. They are not in on second at all. Just damage being pelted across. It's Mula falling quite low, but this bomb from Demul does not connect all that much damage. Instead, now somehow his team is finding frags. Demul for 2, and this is now all 4 members of MANDEM. Zams, June, and a Dream to hold on to last. He needs to hit every pipe ever, and he can hit 2, but he cannot hit them all. poLAND with a minute to go. You knew for a fact this was never going to end any other way.
This is going...
Where else could we possibly go?
Except another golden cap. These teams do not know a different way than to let it get down to the wire. And realistically, that's where we are headed. 45 seconds left. I'm pretty sure that is not enough time for either of these teams to get anything done.
Yeah,
so
we need to go in. SV cheats 1, no clip.
Instant kill.
Adcon 5 or whatever it is to be Ubered. The other one for crits, I don't remember.
Wow. What a beautiful bomb there. It's just nice to like take a breather. Look at this, look at that, man. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. What a beautiful mid out of MANDEM, all things considered. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter.
I can't believe they won that fight at the end.
Yeah.
That looked so fine for them. They were in control, it was completely okay, but then poLAND just finding the switch. 3 maps in a row, Sonny? 3 maps in a row where the Frenchies are just about to be knocked out. Time and time again. They're coming back 3 maps in a row, and for MANDEM, this has to be grating because these Frenchies are just playing like they are cockroaches. You cannot bring them all the way down.
They are unkillable. There's always some angle they find to keep themselves in it, and it's a 3rd golden cap on the 3rd map of this very long series in the lower bracket final. I'm sure either of these teams are going to be more than happy for it to be over eventually, and then have to go into a best of 5 against an arguably better team than the one they're currently facing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Who also haven't had to play.
Yeah, they're like
matches.
They're chilling right now.
Yeah,
they're absolutely chilling.
I mean, I'm sure they're watching the game very intently to see who they'd be playing. At this point, like at this point, throw a dice, right? Like, we're going another. We've had golden cap and golden mid. Now another golden cap as well. And honestly, I could not tell you who's going to win this.
No, it's impossible to call. I actually do not know. For all we know, this could be so anticlimactic, and one team just wipes on mid, and then it's over in 2 minutes, right? But not even 2 minutes, but yeah.
We did see one dominant mid-fight victory that immediately led to that second round for MANDEM, right? And they're going to be trying to retap into that, and it comes off of the super early Ron's aggression. I feel like Ron's and Brudgman both are really sort of traditionally known as really, really good Metalworks, specifically Metalworks mid soldiers. Both of them, right? I remember talking to Pappy about this back in the day. He would play these guys, and he was like, dude, you play versus the Frenchies on Metalworks, these guys are doing something you've never seen before. And I think we saw it really out of Ron's there. That high bomb was so effective. But also, like, do you remember the first 2 mids we had? Where no one did anything?
Nothing happened at all. Obviously, in Golden Cap, you might not want to necessarily do that, but you do want to still be careful. And I think we're going to see these mids be, or these teams be, a little bit more careful on this one again. It's just going to be like the last map. They're going to be trying to really feel this one out, not want to make any mistakes if they can at all in any way avoid them. And it's just so grueling for both of these teams. It's so hard, and you know damn well they're using every second of this break to figure out just exactly how they want to approach this round. Because with how on top of the game these teams have been, one slightly crucial mistake will cost you this map and will cost you the ticket to the finals. And I don't think either team wants to have that risk on weighing on their mind at all, whatsoever.
It's so hard, right? I mentioned it earlier. MANDEM have only ever finished 3rd place.
Yeah.
None of the people on these teams, on this team, have been in the LAN final. To be completely honest, across the other side, on that team, who's been in the LAN Grand Final before, I can count Mula and I can count Bridgman at last poLANd.
True.
And that's it. So either way, we're going to have a lot of new people new to a LAN Grand Finals. Everyone else, yeah, I mean, Witness have been in a LAN Grand Final before. Yeah, literally every single one of them, so that's boring.
They're Witness. If anything, it's testament to just how good the talent pool in Europe has gotten, that we're getting games this close across the entire tournament. The entire tournament, especially the playoffs knockout bracket. Almost every single matchup has been this insanely close. Teams trading maps, the Frenchies always clawing themselves to a victory just about. And they're about to maybe do it again if they can do it in the Golden Cap or Golden Mid that follows, or the Golden Mid. Who knows what else will happen? Maybe they'll just never cap in the Golden Mid. Maybe it just never happens.
We just watch them like keep respawning and going back, and no
it's
one
gonna be
caps.
the eternal
play
mid
DM for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
There's a okay. I can't believe we have to ask this. Is there a time limit on the Golden Mid? What happens? What do we do?
Actually, admins, what happens if the Golden Mid just never gets capped?
If we just keep fighting,
like
they don't know.
They don't.
So
no clue.
We'll see. We'll have to figure that out if that happens. Yeah, apparently there's no way it gets capped. Surely, guys. Someone will cap a last point eventually, or maybe even a midpoint.
Maybe something. Who knows? Who knows? Let's have a peep at the in-game chat. What are people saying? Are they trying to ready up at all?
It is once again the Frenchies taking their time. They have been this entire series, which is completely understandable because before this game, they had about 15 minutes-ish between their last game versus Venom Crest before they had to come in and play this one. That game also very, very close.
Yeah.
Went all 3 maps.
Yep.
Now we're in another 3 maps.
In the gauntlet. They've been running the gauntlet. And, you know, as much as obviously
what if they won this and then also beat Witness in 5 minutes?
Yeah, like that's the crazy thing, right? They
like the most TF2 anyone has ever played ever.
In a single day.
Yeah.
Like they have already gone through an unbelievable gauntlet right now, right? Are they even going to be happy to have to go to the finals after this? Are they going to be like, oh man, another 5 maps of this? I mean,
they could just win in 3.
I guess if they just win, right? Maybe Witness are just washed. Maybe they just suck now. Maybe they're like rust. Maybe Thomas like trips and falls down the stairs.
I mean, they haven't played that much, right? So maybe they're just washed. But you know who isn't?
The gamers.
Server.
They want to go.
We're going live one last time here.
For real.
MANDEM
for sure.
versus poLANd.
For real this time. One last
this time.
Maybe.
Definitely no Golden Mid. As one map apiece, one single round separates these 2 teams. The tiniest of margins. And once again, we're in on mid.
It's going to be a fast one for Hans this time around as Forfeits have to rotate through the lower ground to the other side on this mid fight here. No players falling either side just yet. They're just spamming each other out as best they can, but the health is looking a lot better for MANDEM. Positioning is good either side, and it's just going to be on who can get this pressure onto the right player at the right time. Where can you find your opening? Where can you find the first strike? The Mool will be the first to fall on the side of Forfeits, and maybe that's enough for MANDEM to keep moving forward. They do find Brugman as well as he bombs in. Doesn't quite find what he needs to, and it's a 1 mid for the side of MANDEM as Forfans realize the predicament they're in and
They don't
to
have
get the
soldiers,
second.
right? So it's actually really hard for them to hold on to alleyway here as well. They have to purely rely on the spam of Deli, and
Yeah,
that
they're
means that they
going
just
to
don't even try to fight
Ross
it.
already.
That mid is lost based on both Brudgeman and Demul not quite finding the rockets that they need to hit, and that just allows MANDEM to come forward. They have such a better positioning, and when Brudgeman and Demul don't find those last little rockets, the mid fight is just over. Now, 100% Uber on both teams. We've been here before, so it is an early sack straight in onto a heavy. Another soldier is in the air, but the first one falls. Now Ron's dead as well. Scout comes in, Inso falling. This is 3 players down, and the Frenchies this time around, maybe, just maybe, they're looking to push this out.
It's a risky one, but they do probably want to do it. The round reset isn't worth it, and unfortunately Brugman immediately walks into a sticky trap, so any chance of that push out, gone in an instant. It's not going to happen. They're going to have to sit on last instead and just deal with that heavy. Deal with Nevo doing his magic with that, and maybe even take this time to set up a little bit more. At the end of the day, they have Ubers in play. It's not like MANDEM are going to be wanting to move all that quickly. So if they can get themselves established in this hold, it's going to be on MANDEM to bust it. And, well, they haven't been most consistent at that either. This is a last hold that is very tough to get through runs. Takes some Farsight here, maybe just raining down a little bit of damage onto the enemy combo. They're eating a lot of damage from that, actually. Giving MANDEM a bit of ground to work with. And they're going to try this prodding, aggressive push again, just getting in dry. So much catch already on the point. But nothing else to follow up with.
They're dying! They're dying! So many people are dying across the board, but it's MANDEM ultimately losing their demo man now as well, meaning that it is impossible for them to hold onto this second. You can see Nevo taking the long way out of last as well, making sure that there is no MANDEM player coming in, runs, trades with Nevo, but that is falling. It is Brudgeman on 1 HP there. They shot each other in the air, and they live. But look at June getting pistoled down by Nevo, who is not with his team. And this is a bit scary now, getting chased, but Inso falling aggressive again. And I think somehow, someway, this is Forfans off of even Ubers, and they are crawling their way back from their own last.
Snail's pace, but they're slowly making a steady progress towards this mid as well. Han's caught out of position. Lots of damage there onto Samus. Sam's caught out of position as well. Just nuked down by QB's meat shots, and Forfans are just keeping this momentum up. They're just getting the frags where they need them. Bronze is low as well. He's not going to be in this fight for a little bit. A little bit of damage there onto Deli is probably going to slow them down now. Bronze is there to back up the rest of his team. Mid is capped, Forfans can stabilize, as can MANDEM, and we've leapfrogged quite a bit to the different other side of the map here, but I think things are going to slow down ever so slightly now, just a little bit.
It's such a tense situation though. There's still a dead demo, which means if you are Forfans, you have to be so careful of someone from MANDEM attempting to aggress in onto your team. Deli only re-aggressing and joining his friends now. Picking up the health pack, so you can see exactly where the Frenchies are going to go. Once again, it's in onto Ali, relying on the soldier bomb to create pressure, to hopefully squeeze water from Stone. And Uber out of June is what they need so desperately to keep their tournament lives in shape.
It's going to be on whether this bomb can work out. Brugman keenly aware of the fact that there might be Sticky somewhere ready to catch him out as well. They just want to be able to get something done here so desperately. But which bomb is it going to be? Which player is it going to be that really makes this opening move? MANDEM keenly aware of what will be coming their way as well. At the second, notoriously hard to push if you're not completely locked in on your combo, on your aggression. There's the bomb, a little bit of ground for Brugman, but he doesn't find anything with it and pays with his life as well. Opens the door perhaps for a bit of MANDEM aggression. Boulder already forward in lower here. The rest of the team following suit. They're trying to make sure Forfans get all the way back to mid.
They are going to walk back to mid, but it's not the end of the world. Right? You see MANDEM really can't recontest that whatsoever. Instead, sitting back on second is going to allow Brudgeman time, and I think French Forfans, right? They can just keep regressing this once again. Getting back in onto mid with this soldier. And like, okay, this seems like the obvious play, but also you have to just say these plays have never really worked. The only time it didn't work was when there was like 30 seconds left on the round timer, and the Frenchies just sent it, and it actually ended up working. Now, once again, looking in towards alleyway. Deli shooting stickies across, needs to find some damage, but MANDEM doing such a good job of ignoring every single one of them. June is sitting quite far back, and this is a demo. Zam's aggressive as well. June, right here, is bombable, but it is such a large distance to cover. Only Brudgeman in position to bomb in.
Scouts in between you and that prized pick as well aren't going to make it any easier. You need perfectly coordinated aggression, perfectly timed bombs, perfectly timed everything. Bushman does get into lobby. Lots of damage here onto his counterpart. Will win that duel against Haunt. Gives himself a bit of ground to work with. Now has to hold his ground though. Nice rocket, another nice one. Unfortunately, it's not enough, and they lose Demul and QB as well as Ron just slips all the way in behind. Suddenly,
so good.
they're getting pincered.
They have no presence in house because the move falls, and that is so much damage there from Haunt. Now, Nevo has to keep his medic alive somehow, some way, and that is a thirsty Boulder looking to come in, taking down Nevo, taking down Mula, as Runs is finding the kill onto Demul as well. MANDEM, they are looking to get to their first ever LAN finals. 3 players remain on last. Only 3 Frenchies can hold on, and there are no heals. There is no respite. The future is now, and MANDEM ascend.
To the final they go, just like that. It took a lot of work for them to get there. And, well, probably a consolation prize for the Frenchies is they can rest now. They have gone through hell. They've gone and put up one hell of a fight against MANDEM to try and get that final slot. It wasn't enough. They eventually ran out of stamina, but here they are. MANDEM in the finals against Witness. The rematch of the upper bracket final from yesterday on the cards.
Hearts out to Frenchies. They played so well for so long.
It could have been anybody's
Just
game.
keeping up pace, coming back all 3 maps, and the heartbreaker at the end. But Ron's on that flank was so huge, getting that force across, and MANDEM, they just pounce on their opportunity. It's finally given to them, and now they have a date with Destiny in the finals.
Exactly. But we'll see more of that in a bit. Let's have some players and brains on the couch talk about what we witnessed and what's coming up. We'll see you then.
Whew, that was stressful. That was stressful. Anyway, hopefully to kind of ease the stress, I've got Ryan here from Anticide. I've got Flick from Danish Tyrant Regime, or maybe I should call them the boys from The Last Resort, maybe. Yeah, but Condawg's here. Ryan, I'm going to start with you. You've been paying attention to the game at all? Have you been analysing? Do you know what's gone wrong with these 2 teams?
Yeah, no. I feel like the Frenchies were actually in a really good position at the end there. They won their second. Bruges went for a bit of a risky play, and they kind of just melted one by one. I feel like the Frenchies are really good for momentum as well, especially when they need to make something happen. They're really good in the momentum. I feel like at the end, MANDEM were playing to not to lose, and that allowed them to get that second round, the Frenchies. But after that, I feel like they kind of crumbled, and that's what led to the loss, I feel like.
Flick, if you could pass the microphone kindly to Flick. Flick, you've obviously played second at the last poLANd, so you're probably very in a familiar place, or reminded of a lot of things from that previous LAN. Watching these 2 teams, can you feel the nerves of these? Can you tell when somebody's playing nervously in this game at all?
I honestly felt MANDEM were stronger overall, but they played a bit. I thought they played a bit scared.
Yeah, I agree.
At the end of the my bad.
Don't worry, I can hear you.
At the end of when it made it a draw on Metalworks, I felt like MANDEM.
Yeah, MANDEM were basically, they were playing very scared. I thought they were very pussy and all this stuff. Realistic. I thought everybody was kind of playing a bit pussy. Yes, even the MANDEM, Condawg. Did you? Okay, Condawg, take the mic here for a second. Whoa, pass it to my boy Condawg. I want to know. Condawg, did you not feel like these medics were maybe just popping over just a light breeze? Anything was just kind of spooking these medics a bit throughout this game?
No, not at all, Turbo. June, she was calm, cool and collected. The MANDEM, they did. I told you what would happen. I knew they were going to take this. But, I mean, I won't talk about what was said at the end of the match. I got a few clips at the end. There were very loud, wild celebrations were happening. A few keyboards were smashed at the end of that map, Turbo.
Well, I hope they didn't smash them too much, because they've still got a grand final ahead of them. But, before we talk about them, we need to kind of mourn the loss here. A team has been knocked out, and it's not a fun feeling. And Flick, I've got to say, like, obviously they didn't win this match, but Forfence put on a good show. Was there anybody that was like particularly just trying their heart out, in your opinion?
I felt like for Forfence, it was more of a team effort. Like, MANDEM have a lot of star players who can make a lot of, I don't know, good plays. Like in the Golden Cap, like whenever Forfence were on second, or like fighting into second from mid, like they go for these like bust plays into house and things like that, and it's kind of, I mean, it was nice to watch. But Forfence, I don't know, as a team, they had like nice pressure into second. I saw them like at the end, Delhi getting a lot of space before they lost the Golden Cap, walking really deep. It was really nice to watch. Eventually they lost 3 and then they crumbled, but I don't know, it was more of a team effort for them, I felt like.
All right, well, if it's a team effort over on the side of Forfence, what about MANDEM, Ryan? Was anybody kind of jumping out at you and thinking, my God, this person's on fire? They might actually take something off of Witness here.
Well, it's a lot easier to like say that about MANDEM, a star player, because the thing with Frenchies, it feels like when something good happens, it's always a team effort. Very rare it's like one player's like just making the play happen. On MANDEM, you've got players like Rons, they bring like a lot of energy, a lot of hype. They make the plays happen, the soldiers, the scout as well. But I'd say probably Ron's is definitely the star player this land. Ron's been making a lot of stuff happen.
Now let's not forget here, Ryan, you're a LAN champion here, so you have some wisdom you could maybe bestow upon MANDEM as they go into this grand final setting. If you had to give any like wise words that would, you know, because a grand final is a whole different kind of game. What kind of wise words would you give these MANDEM players facing off against Witness in the grand final?
Don't get too overzealous, don't get too happy. You still got grand finals to play, best of 5. Just keep it cool. Obviously, be happy about the win. It was a long game, but obviously, go keep your head in the right place since you're playing the biggest game now, the grand finals. So you just have to keep focused and focus on that game. That's next.
Flick, you've obviously been around for a long time. You've played your odd share of best of 5s. Describe to just people out there that it is kind of a marathon. And what is there any sort of tricks or tips you could maybe give these players to like kind of go the distance?
I honestly don't think we have. I've not played that many best of 5s.
You played a best of 5 last year at poLAND?
I don't think that was a best of 5.
Was it not a best of 5 last year?
I think that was a best of 3.
Oh, right. Well, okay then. Well, I mean, surely you've played a best of 5 at some point, but...
They already knew we were going to lose against Witness, so they were just like, I may as well do it. 2 maps.
Well, still, though, as a grand finalist, if you've got any sort of wise words for MANDEM going into it...
Wise words for MANDEM, you said?
Correct.
I don't know, they just need a breather. Just go outside, have a little walk. They're probably really tired right now. Like, Witness are chilling. They've been just demo reviewing maybe, like having a little warm up. Yeah, MANDEM need a break. This is going to be tiring for them. Like, yeah.
All right, and Condawg, obviously you're kind of talking to them from the perspective of a fan. You know, you're a big supporter of MANDEM. What
Coach
kind
Condawg.
of like, you've got your ear to the ground. You are talking with the people. The people are behind MANDEM, aren't they?
The people love MANDEM. They see them as their Witness conquerors, Turbo. And you know what I love about best of 5s? We're going to be seeing some King of the Hill. And my phone, who is this? Who's giving me a call now? My mum. My mum's on the phone. Sorry about that.
Hi, Connor's mum.
That's right. But Turbo, we will be seeing some King of the Hill.
It's okay. I'll call you back
They're
later.
going to ban Viaducts, but we're going to some Bagel. Bagel will be sneaking in somewhere. And I believe in the MANDEM on the King of the Hill. You know, Witness who? There's my boy. Come here, Horns. Come over. Come here.
Wow,
Take a seat,
Horns.
buddy. Take a seat.
Welcome, Horns. How are we doing? How are we feeling?
Very good, very good. Excited to win.
Horns level with me. I'm guessing that game wasn't even close, right? Easiest game of your life, GG.
Yeah, it's not even close. It's not even close. We're shaking in the Golden Cap.
Oh, you're actually feeling the adrenaline, are we?
Hello, we need to calm down because there are like 5 more maps to play, so we gotta chill now. We have a Witness, so gotta calm down.
All right, I guess this is the best question to ask you, Horns, because obviously you were in the games and whatnot. Was there anything you were disappointed from playing all those games? Anything you were like, obviously you won the match, you're not disappointed in that, but was there anything you were like, man, I really beefed this, or somebody kind of dropped the ball on this, or I wish we did this better?
I wish we won in 2 maps because it was possible. We didn't have to play the third map. We played Process on top of them. They got the round in the last minute. Metalworks as well. They got the round in the last minute. It's like we were on top of them. There was like no need to make like those small mistakes for them to catch us on and just get around. We just made some tiny mistakes that they just took advantage of, you know.
Now, as tempting it is to pick all of your brains for an eternity, I'm afraid we have to go for a break. You need to have a break here, Horns, as well. And we at production need to have a break. You guys took it to the distance. Our admins are crushing paper and they're flipping tables and they're angry. And production need to get caught up as well, because we've got the grand final coming up. That's going to be a best of 5, a real slugger. So, you know, stick the kettle on, maybe get a couple of sandwiches, kiss your nearest flick, and we'll see you there in the grand finals.